being lost.
America's attempt to follow the example of the Arab Spring.
The idea is to create as much chaos through the region as possible.
The newly expanded police powers, increased video
Where the
surveillance.
occupied point goes from now is the weather's about to get warm.
Protesters are going to flood in for the G8 and NATO summit scheduled to take place this spring in Chicago.
Salam, wherever you're from. Let me be the first to extend a warm welcome to the old and the young, the students, the homies, the brothers, the workers, the mothers. Make your mark, get involved, organize, hit the streets, march, protest, sing for a new beginning. It's the American spring. Be prepared, never scared. The end ain't near. Nah, we just getting started. Organize, hit the streets, march, protest, sing for a new beginning. It's the American spring. Be prepared, never scared, the end ain't near. Nah, we just getting started. I've been in Athena's Greece when they clash with police, in Germany with the anti-fascists hitting the streets. Worldwide, the tide is turning, fires burning. First is workers in Cairo, next thing we marching on Chicago. NATO, the highest gun of banks running the G8. They get hot in Camp David, but their agenda ain't changed. War in the name of humane intervention, invented rebellions, hidden intentions. Millions invested in arms. They claim we not getting involved, but we already are. Disaster war makers is after all the last remaining natural assets, all under the sand in Iran. It's gonna be the same excuse. Propaganda on the news, save the world from the nukes. Ooh, it's gonna be a hot summer. Get your mother, get your young, make your mark, get the block, get involved, organize, hit the streets, march, protest, sing for a new beginning. It's the American spring. Be prepared, never scared. The end ain't near. Nah, we just getting started. Organize, hit the streets, march, protest, sing for a new beginning. It's the American spring. Be prepared, never scared. The end ain't near. Nah, we just getting started. All eyes on me, like my song from Tupac. The government want me to stop. I'm on the news watch, cameras every 2 blocks. They pulling up like tube socks. Watch, watch, watch. I incite, I ignite, I view the world through the eyes of the workers. Fight, fight the power, take flight. I want the whole damn pie, not a little bite. They make us work just to buy, we barely get by. Say goodbye to your rights, say hello to the fight. Chicago bound and I can't wait to arrive. The working class city where May 1st started. The 8-hour day, the Haymarket martyrs. That's why I fight the power like that PE song. Just to prove the Fox News, they got the whole thing wrong. So I'm screaming intifada at an immigrant redada. The banks got bailed out, but the hood ain't get nada. Organize, hit the streets, march, protest, sing for a new beginning. It's the American spring. Be prepared, never scared. The end ain't near. Nah, we just getting started. Organize, hit the streets, march, protest, sing for a new beginning. It's the American spring. Be prepared, never scared. The end ain't near. Nah, we just getting started.
We face entrapment while they attack us. Some of us pack up, get off the map, and take one last puff. Some of us stay strapped up, we snap, crack up, and just act up. Some of us say, nah man, fuck that, we don't back up. Smashing the block, tactical black block, push back cops. These activists grabbed and cuff on these black trucks that pass us. Fast track passes, they laugh at us, and they tax us. While hackers cracking navigational gadgets that track us. Cause we stroll around thinking we're incredibly blessed now. Willing to be strapped with devices heavily teched out. The human sensory system is suppressed and it's stressed out. We all checked into the matrix, but we never have checked out. So we try to avoid these weaponized toys that destroy us. We ain't paranoid, but we stay poised to the noises. Fuck the toys of a koi fish, this is the voice of the voiceless. And if you support the troops, then tell them boys to join us.
These are the times that we live in, the times that we die in. These are the times that we all are surviving. But we all must shine through these dark times in America we live in. These are the times that we die in. These are the times that we all are surviving. But we all must shine
the times of universal deceit, when telling the wrong type of truth can get you murked in the street, prosecuted and persecuted for some words that you speak. Broad day, JFK, head burst in your seat. My cursive is neat, I'm about to rout out all your pestilence. I will never flinch when confronted with the evidence. I don't care about an order from whatever bench. You're gonna need yourself a better wench than Loretta Lynch. How the hell is Preacher still on the loose now? She should be doing 2 to 5 in the Who Scout. They pulled the wool over the eyes of the pew route. It shouldn't be any surprise what they do now. They keep on going all out to scare you with their ISIS factor. What they really need to do is hire better crisis actors. Election, they stole it. You wanna get to control it? You might have to sacrifice a couple chickens to mold it.
These are the times that we live in, the time that we die in. These are the times that we all are surviving. But we all must shine through these dark times in America we live in. These are the times that we die in. These are the times that we all are surviving. But we all must shine through these dark times in America.
What the fuck? This dark time is infinite. Been this way since the white man killed the Indians. The water in Michigan is poisoning citizens, while unhealthy Americans can't produce insulin. It's time to take initiative. And they ask me why I'm mad, cause you're not fucking listening. You need Ritalin to keep your attention from fizzling. We're giving kids iPads instead of making fishermen. Simplistic imprisonment. It's so easy to trap your mind with submissive instruments. Talking television sets, radios, and scripted text. They want you eating the beef, so you live acidic, yes. I won't skip a step. Violent like ballistic tests, ridiculous. Expose the explicitness of the rich and fresh. And then we eat the rich and feed the poor with homegrown veggies and delete all the pizza stores.
These are the times that we live in, the time that we die in. These are the times that we all are surviving. But we all must shine through these dark times in America we live in. These are the times that we die in. These are the times that we all are surviving. But we all must shine through these dark times in America.
We the people are the ones who gonna have to fight. We used to say, which side are you on? Which side are you on? The truth is, we're in so much debt that the only way out is revolution or war. So now the question is, which side are you on?
Which side are you on, boy? Which side are you on, my lord? Which side are you on, boy? Which side are you on, my lord?
See, before I draw the line, let me welcome you close to all the folks who knew Obama sold the people a hoax. Gave the money to suckers while our community's still poor. Withdrew the troops but started another war. Colonizing, terrorizing, creating the oil crisis so they can make a killing on food and gas prices. Prisons is filling, they trying to lock up the future. Militarized borders and control of computers. Wanting stupid bumping music that ain't healthy for the shortest. Privatizing schools and policemen in the hallways. Can't be dormant, I'm awoken. Rise up, be ready. Brought the family with us and we hold the machetes.
Riding the fence, riding the fence. Too many people be riding the fence. Yeah, you say you ready for war, but are you convinced? I'm not convinced. If you're a rider, freedom fighter, crowd excited, then let's do this. We can make one big united, middle finger to the US. Give me the bravest and the truest. Fuck the hippest and the coolest. We gon' spark this revolution and cross this off our to-do list. Put your foot down if you look down on this criminal system. Put your book down and get shook down like my niggas in prison. Don't be condemning and condoning their actions in one sentence. Make up your mind, choose your side. Is you a patriot or a menace to society? So riot or sit by quietly. But don't pull out your flag and try to say you gon' ride with me. You flip-flopping like hip-hop, I don't get locked in that trick box. Get got like Big and Pop, shit's got to stop. I am the people, not the pig, I repeat after Fred. So please blow my brains out if I ever forget.
I'm with the independent thinkers. I'm down with the movers and the shakers and the ex-Henny drinkers, the non-smokers, the health advocates, the non-voters, the young bloods in the hood training like soldiers. I'm on the side of the tracks with the hood gardens, the little child that don't color inside the margins. I don't ride the fence, I cultivate my strength, cause if it ain't about power, it don't make sense. I've been down with Boogie Down since BDP, some Brown Pride and Black Power make RBG. A OG told me choose battles wisely. In the struggle, don't forget your children and your wifey. If you don't see me on the podium preaching it, every day I hope my every action is teaching it. Cause revolution is a process, it's not a speech or a panel. Don't bite off more than you can handle.
still rock hard like slingshots in Palestina. Con todos los estudiantes por educación gratuita. I'm with workers uprising and the right to unionize. We ain't crossed the border, so you better legalize. I'm with La Peña del Bronx. I'm still with Victor Toro, cause gentrification is polluting my borough. So bro, never. South Bronx forever. Decolonize the block, make your neighborhood better. I ain't down with the rich, I'm more Richie Perez. Don't talk to grand juries or cooperate with feds. I'm with students, doctors, janitors, teachers. We need living wages, but they don't believe us. Monida, Barretto, Spofford, Hunts Point, my hood, I love. We join forces, forming our deck, BX. Taking over buildings, rebel Diaz for the children.
Politics to sickness, streets express symptoms. Caught up with a quickness, big business pimps them. Scholars play the simpleton, fools play with wisdom. Who will stand and fight back? Who will play the victim? Trials and tribulations, injured generations. Stolen history and outsourced innovation. Babel Tower fell, tribes are at war. The battle story's not represented in the score. The game's fixed, most of the faces and names switched. Credit stolen for art, science, religion, language, technology, philosophy, and with strangers. They paid in hatred for the knowledge of the ancients. Power in words, actions, guns, swords. Aim Panthers, brown berets, young lords. Pick a side, one sickness, one cure, one love, one blood, one world, but one war.
When the dictator of our nation is called a corporation. Swear to God and my mama never supported Obama. I'm a Chicago riot starter like a Haymarket martyr. I'd rather focus on the streets, organizing the tribes. Go against the grain and know that I tried. I'm not into working backwards, I'm talking direct action. I'm talking fighting for freedom for the poor and working classes. I would work for reform, this is for my unborn. I'm putting on a ski mask and this weapon is drawn.
Culture of violence in which I've grown up. They say grow up, make a living in these miserable conditions. Schools look more like prisons and they shutting down the clinics. If employment ain't an option, you ain't got shit, what you do? Where you go if you foreclose, then your payment past due. Ask you, is it worth it? The earth on its last pulses, all in bloodthirsty, they raping the resources. Things is getting darker, but it's light that I offer. No divide and conquer, I'm talking people power. I was ticking, hurry, hurry, get your ticket for the future. Identify the problems and move on better solutions. You should be involved, build, show love. That's step number one. Before we shooting dumb guns, run, copper, we united. No more internal fighting, might just run up on the precinct. No justice, no peace, this is
I declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse.
Greetings world. We are Anonymous the Collective. We would like to talk for a little bit about what is happening at present. Right now we have hit the 6th layer of hell and are actively destroying each other, causing massive divisions, when really we should be seeking unity and forging an army so strong the system would not know what hit them. So were you a green man, an old fag, or a new fag? This is the question. We have been around a long time, some old, some new. I guess in our hearts we have always been anonymous. We all hated the Queen from a young age, thought fuck royalty, and knew she was the head of the Illuminati bloodline, followed closely by her cousins the Rothschilds and the government. We was never brainwashed like other friends and family. We was nonconformists. They say that 75% of the population is easily conditioned by the government through mainstream media. Control, divide to conquer has always been their goals. Money and oil, and a one-world domination. For fuck's sakes, Bush's relatives funded wars on both sides. We knew that when we would hit adulthood, our votes would not matter because the shadow government above the puppeted presidents and prime ministers had the strings, and that if voting counted it would be illegal. So we became anarchists, and thought fuck the system from a young age. In Anonymous 2007, after the changing of the mask, Guy Fawkes on November 5th, we can remember this gave us all hope, that we could charge the system, and made us feel a part of a collective of people who were awake, and awakening. But now it feels like all that we built up together, is falling apart. Through all this infighting, and infighting at present is the thing that the elite are loving. They're watching us actively destroy each other from their seats above the world, and we're helping them achieve these goals they've set forth into motion in 1776 from Bulgaria. Adam Weishaupt used his love of the occult, and mixed it with Freemasonry to form a secret society, the Illuminati, which sadly rules our world, in every way. Our currency, TV, government, and music and film. They even show us years in advance to evilly plan events that will take place in the future. Did you know that 9/11 was predicted through a card game in 1995? The exact imagery of what would happen years down the line shown through a card game. This world is sick, twisted and inhumane. It's the time to pull together and show a form of togetherness and unity. Does not matter what you wear on your face. It's the idea behind the mask that matters. We hope this message makes everyone who is a part of this awesome collective think just for a moment, and realize that we can fuck the system. We are the 99% that will say no, no more. The time to fight back is now. We will hold hands and face these cruel dictators together. We will not bow down, and follow like sheep to a gutless government that turns its back on the people that it's meant to protect. We will not fall down. We will not get on our knees. The time to rise is now. Be counted in a free world army, brothers and sisters. Know that we are anonymous. We are a fierce idea, an invisible army, for you the people, to expect.
Oh yeah, alright, here we go. Well, hey guys, this is, what number? This is episode 5 of Anonymous Bites Back. We actually rounded up quite a few people here at the last minute to come on here and once again talk about unity, infighting, and the bullshit that's going on, because some people still haven't gotten the message, and that much is clear.
Well, a lot of what's going on blatantly resembles Illuminati tactics of divide and conquer and, order from chaos. And we've already been through this like a year or so ago. We went through the whole infighting issue, and it continues to happen.
Infighting has only caused problems.
Yeah, I almost, infighting can be really bad and detrimental to the point where, even I've seen ops in the past, just completely go away. And then, even mine, where one guy is, trying to hijack all of your stuff, infighting is bad,
Infighting can tear you down pretty quick. It doesn't take much to get people paranoid, and then next thing you know, everybody's at each other's throats, thinking everybody's at each other's throats. It'll break down a crew real quick.
That's part of the tactics. They get in, they become your friends, they come in with socks, they become your friends, and they hang out with you, and then they turn around, stab you in the back, and they're pretending to be somebody else, and now they've caused a fight. People got hurt feelings, and it's all part of the game. It's not just trolling and ridiculing people. It's literally becoming friends, stealing people's groups, learning people's personal secrets, and then spilling them out to everybody else. Betrayal, which hurts. I mean, on any level, it hurts.
It takes a toll on
the more time we spend doing that, the less time we spend doing
What? Whoa, whoever that is, you need to get closer to your modem, homie.
Can you hear me better now?
Getting a little better.
Yeah, my signal sounds distorted as well.
Are you having problems hearing me?
I'm sorry?
How's your Wi-Fi looking right now?
Are you having problems hearing me?
It might be because I'm not at home right now, so I'm on the phone. So my signal just might be bad.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely not coming in worth a fuck at all.
Not at all.
One of the biggest problems is like simple human nature, though, but the biggest is, people's ego. Ego is a big thing I've been seeing going around a lot lately.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to say that. And it's like the slightest thing, and somebody's feelings are hurt if if they didn't get enough attention or weren't invited to a topic or something like that. They get all bent out of shape about it. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Not only that, we have these instigators out there going around right now, posting around fake doxes, and then we got to deal with that shit on top of the infighting, and then the next thing you know, it goes into a chat room, and then you're like, oh my god, this person's a fucking spy. We need to learn to get along with each other and throw our egos aside.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I've been dealing with it all day, every day. It seems like every time I turn on my phone, anytime I look at a computer, anytime I'm doing something, somebody's screenshotted something, somebody said some drama, and I got 20 messages about it, you know? And it's constant. I'm filtering through who's who, who's what, who's why they did this, why they did that, you know, trying to keep the peace. As an alpha, it's like my thing. I have to keep peace amongst the pack. I got to keep them on each other's sides, you know? It's real easy for them to forget who's who and just jump down each other's throats over something simple. So
it does seem to me that the biggest problem is the people with the big egos, the big heads, the everybody thinks they have the perfect right idea of how all of this should be done, and it should only be done their way, and they're gonna butt heads with anybody that doesn't do it their way.
Exactly. It's not about what you want. It's about what everybody
we all
wants.
need. What we all need, really.
What we all need. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
It's like, you know, we need if we all got along together and just worked towards a goal and just stop the petty high school bullshit about he said, she, the this and that, we could work so much better together.
Exactly. We got to
One thing people
Just
should
look
do
what's
is stop believing stuff that's being said about people and going and confronting that person themselves about it.
Well, just look what's been accomplished with the show. I mean, everybody that comes on the show is from, you know, either another region, another country. We all belong to different groups or sects, you know, all pushing different ideas. But when we come in here for the show, it's, you know, you don't see really any fighting, any arguing. Everybody's got good ideas, tries to help each other out, and it can be accomplished like that. But then again, we also do our best to make sure we don't have people that are coming in here deliberately trying to cause those problems.
Yes, and those have to be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah.
I see those types of people try to come in all the time, but they're really easy. Like, I mean, most of the time, like, my smaller groups, when we see that shit coming, it's just like everybody will just immediately blacklist them, and it's like, nope, not having anything to do with you. We see what the fuck you're up to.
Yeah.
And man, like, through that, we've weeded out so much bullshit.
Yeah, we have. I mean, I'm actually quite impressed with the way this group has worked, and even with bringing in new people and guests on a regular basis, I'm really impressed with the way we've worked. I mean, like I said, we're all from different groups and different parts of the world, and once we stepped into this chat room, everybody is almost, you know, they're on the same page. Everybody's clicking together, compromising, coming up with unity. You know, we're trying to come up with the best idea for everybody.
Right. I mean, like, before this would be, tonight would mark 1 week that we've been doing this. Like, I literally hopped in the chat last Saturday, and I knew Mark, and then I knew Ronan, and that's like it. Other than that, like, I don't think either one of those are.
You know me, Tyler. I go by so many screen names. It's not even funny.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I didn't realize I knew you, but so what up? But I mean, it's just like, you know, I just hop in here and I start working with all these people I don't know, and you know, we're all working together to make this shit happen. And you know, I mean, if all of us can come together and pull it off, like, literally out of nowhere, just like, hey, you guys want to do this? Yeah, let's do it. Done. Imagine what else we could do.
Yeah, everybody pulls in, just compromises. I mean, I think what we've done is pretty amazing. No matter looking at the views and the post reach we've had, basically zero fighting. I mean, the first day we had a little discrepancies because we were worried about having people in here deliberately causing fighting. And after that, after like the first hour getting that sorted out, we haven't had any problems at all since then. If anything, I think we've all kind of become friends. You know what I mean? More closer friends, even, you know.
Right now, I've got like half y'all on my Facebook list.
Haven't even known each other.
If we can do it, then we could get the whole group to do it. Why can't none of us, all of us, The whole idea to get together. We can do it. We can get everybody to do it.
Yeah, never mind. We might live 100,000 miles away from each other. We'll get there.
I really think this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's why it's good.
Major cutting out.
Yeah.
Of unity.
Good lord, it sounds like he drowned a robot.
I guess I can introduce myself. This is Anonymous Watchman out of Tampa. And I'm glad to be invited to the show.
Hey, what's going on?
Not a lot.
All right, glad to have you. Welcome. I didn't think you was going to make it.
Yeah, brother. Most nights I'm in bed by this time. I'm old, you know.
You're right. Oh, come on now. We've hung out later than this before.
We got like 3 hours. It'll be late before we're done.
2 in the morning again.
Yeah, right. That's where it's been running.
I'm cheating. Me being West Coast, it's not that late. It's only like 8 o'clock right now.
It's 9 here, but we've run pretty late before.
Remember, we were still talking in the show. We thought the show was still going on.
Oh God, yeah, we're. Hey, it's all right. We're
talked for like 30 minutes.
So we have a guest on here today. You want to introduce yourself?
Which one?
Hey, yeah. My name's Jody Ladd. I'm out of Dallas, Texas. Me and my
Namaste, Jody.
Thank you.
Howdy.
Got my buddy on here, Alvin, too.
So, Jody, you have a march going on the Federal Reserve. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do talk about that. That's a big one right there.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I mean, the guy
target.
Alvin, we just kind of this was an ideal, you know, like everything starts out as an ideal. So we created a page called Nationwide March to End the Federal Reserve. Right now, like I said, it's just an ideal. We can't do anything without people being aware of it first, understanding that it's important and showing up. So, we're just trying to get the word out. I want it to grow organically. More in depth into it. We start getting more people, kind of stepping up. Right now it's just me and him, and we got the Dallas area that we're starting to organize. I'm going to be making some flyers and things go around different malls and putting flyers on windows of cars. Once we get the date set, right now we don't even have a date set, just because we want to get the awareness and everything out there first. Like I said, organically, let everybody kind of decide when to do it. And I'm looking for input, really.
Can you all hear me?
I don't mean to interrupt, but can anybody else hear this?
Barely. I think I booted out.
I don't mean to be that guy, but I can't hear nothing.
You know this, man. When I was in Oklahoma, like 2 years ago, most of the Oklahoma City Anons tend to go down to Dallas for protest, man. And I found that kind of odd because, I was up there 2015 Million Mass March, and I was actually up in Tulsa, but all the Oklahoma City Anons headed down to Dallas, man. Dallas has a really strong Anon following, man.
Hey guys, you guys able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I apologize for having the picture on here. I just don't usually use Google, so it's an old picture. But yeah, they usually come down for the Million Mask March a lot of time, and we usually get like 40, 50 people turned out in Dallas. The year before that, we had a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, I think Tulsa 2015, we had like 23 people.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun, though, man.
Hey, at least somebody showed up.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that matters, man. You
Hey, y'all are doing better than
more. The next year, be more. Just keep promoting, man.
So, all you guys are from all different parts of the country?
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Hey. We definitely, we all want to make it like a nationwide thing, and like the first phase of this, we want to get out and educate the public. because most people don't even know how money is made, and that's just a simple question that we can answer on the streets, you know. And I feel like that will build us a grassroots movement to where we can actually make a difference by just sheer numbers.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree with that.
I can definitely help organize actions going down, like in the DC area. I know quite a lot of people that just love to find any excuse to go to DC.
That would be awesome. We have no date set yet. Like right now, we're still in like this discovery phase and just getting momentum behind it. But yeah, the more the merrier, definitely. It's very inclusive. I just feel like the Federal Reserve is at the core of pretty much every issue we have going on in this country. You know.
My brother, where have you been when I was thinking about CTW? Oh my God, that was like
Sorry, I'm not familiar with it.
That was like my first thing before it all started like going to pieces due to infighting, and then we got it back. But that was like one of my first ideas that I thought about. You know, was just like doing a protest in front of the Federal Reserve.
Oh, for sure. That's for sure. We should do that. I mean, definitely. Well, this country has a rich history of fighting the central bankers. They've just hidden it from us.
Sorry, man.
They hide our history, you know, and people need to know that.
Well, when you talk the Federal Reserve, you're also talking the International Monetary Fund.
Oh yeah, the Rothschilds, the IMF, all that.
Yeah. Largest. I mean, so this could literally be a global march.
Have you guys ever heard of the Bank of International Settlements?
What was that?
Bank of International Settlements. BIS.
Yeah, I have heard of them.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. It's a central bank of the central banks. All that, just central banking in general, just the monetary system in general needs to be destroyed, you know, like, or at least replaced with something better. Because it's not we're using fiat currency. It's backed by absolutely nothing, you know.
Have you heard of their alternatives that they had to the central bank? And I think that it was done by somebody from the elite, and I've watched some of the videos. If they basically wanted to have a localized, privatized bank making all the rules for the other banks and setting the rules for them. I'm like, no, dude, that's exactly what you just fucking had.
Yeah, no, that's the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a centralization of power. You know, that's the opposite of what needs to be done. We need to make it open source, whatever we have.
It's like what country is not in debt to the central banks? It's like they have everybody by the balls. They really do.
And the central bank own no one, man.
I'm sorry?
Central bank own no one. They own everything.
They do, definitely. They definitely do. Well,
the second main one is
they want. It's it's digits in a computer screen for them. It's nothing more, even though like we slave for it.
They create money from thin air.
Absolutely. They draw on an account with nothing in it.
Yeah.
But I feel like
they're telling that he'll bankrupt our country if we audit him. I mean, what kind of power is that? If we audit the Federal Reserve, they'll bankrupt the country, and just sit there and tell our government that boldly, like it's no big deal.
Remember, there was somebody they tried to propose an auditing for the Federal Reserve, and it was denied or something like that.
Yeah, because Rockefeller said he would bankrupt the country if our government audited the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, when was the last person that tried to stop them?
JFK?
The last person was Kennedy when he brought in the silverback dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't Kennedy was going to bring in Executive Order 1100, whatever the hell it was, and then he came up with a speech, and then 6 months later we found him with a bullet in his head. You know,
to say the least.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, to say the least. But yeah, he did actually. He started. It's called the silverbacks, and those bills are still collectibles. They're silver certificates where they were actually backed by silver. It wasn't long after that in his speech when they killed him.
Yeah, the silver certificates are still valid to this day.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's that?
I had a dollar silver certificate, but I don't know what I did with it.
Yeah.
They're still in circulation here and there.
Yeah, I've come across them here and there.
Dollars in circulation before they stopped that, because I mean that executive order was rescinded on the plane with Lyndon B. Johnson right after they killed Kennedy, so they stopped that automatically right away.
Right.
You know, you're talking about doing audits and stuff, man. This last year, I've been taking a lot of time and spending it with the common law grand juries and doing research into the common law grand juries. And the concept is good. The people, the bigger actors in the common law grand juries across this country are corrupt. I mean, just as corrupt as Big Brother. But the concept behind common law is to actually where people hold their local elected officials accountable, and you start your fight in your local towns and cities and stuff, man, doing audits of your own local tax collector and where your money is being spent. And it's been pretty effective in some major.
The common law, again, you're dealing with the same problem that we had, the ego problem again. And I've noticed that because I've worked with the Watchman. I've went to a meeting with him. Me and Watchman are both in the Tampa area, and again, you're dealing with egos. Everybody's got to be bigger, more powerful, or more influential than the next person, instead of getting done what potentially would be a great move.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy year for me here in Florida. This is my first year in Florida, and I'll tell you what.
I warned you.
I'm ready to tap out, man. I'm ready to tap out.
So what if we did a march not only on the Federal Reserve but on the IRS as well?
Oh yes, the IRS.
The IRS,
yeah.
IRS is unlawful, anyways. I mean, it's not even.
It's completely illegal.
No, the IRS is a private corporation.
It belongs to the Queen.
Well, I mean, most people are unaware that when you pay your fucking IRS, it's just going back onto the list. It's going back to the loans on the Federal Reserve.
It's march to educate people on simple things like that. Because I think if most people become aware of that, it would change their outlook on many things. That's just a step. We all know that, but normal people don't know that. They don't even believe it when you tell them. But if you show proof to them, I really think they can get a movement going.
There is a couple that are out there, and I've been trying to, educate the people. There's some good ones out there. There's Zeitgeist. There's the truth about the truth about the IRS. There's some anonymous.
Reserve.
Zeitgeist. I think it's the second one. Just completely destroys the monetary system.
Zeitgeist Addendum.
Yeah.
Master from that was a good one.
There's
on our page. On our page, we've got all of those information.
Oh, definitely, chock full of information. But see, guys, I was thinking at first we just go out in groups and just literally educate people and try to mass numbers. It's these simple things that we're talking about here, most people do not know. We show them proof, get sources, legitimate sources. I think it'll make a big difference. I think it'll start really getting the grassroots movement going.
I could work on raw material here on our pages.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying I can turn all the data into videos for our pages so we can educate each other.
Awesome. This doesn't this affects the whole world. This is global,
What do you think, Watchman? Me, you, and them organize a march here in our area again?
Yeah, man. We weren't real successful this year with Million Mass March. I know that here in Tampa.
Well, both of us were prisoners of war.
Hostages. They picked me up a few days before the march, held me on a $100,000 bond, and then let me out on my own recognizance right after the march was over.
Yeah, they picked me up. They picked me up on a failure to appear for something I actually already went to court for.
Yeah. I had something like that happen to me for Dakota Access Pipeline picketing that we were doing in front of the company in Dallas. Mysteriously, right on my way to the company, I wound up getting kidnapped and was able to get out the day later. I just was working on the Million Mass March. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it there. But yeah, that stuff definitely gang stuff.
Yeah, I think we had on the page that I started for it here in Tampa, we had 200 people said that they were coming. I don't know, about 600 said they were interested, but maybe 20, 25 showed up, I guess. Like I said, I was locked up. My wife was there. And then she went out and fed the homeless.
But again, that was the first march held in Tampa for a long time. Orlando's been kicking our rears for the longest time here for Central Florida.
The March Against Monsanto here in Tampa brings probably 250, 300 people. I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, that's usually pretty good. And I went to that this past year also.
Can I ask you all a question?
Yeah.
Do any of you in any of your little cells, wherever everybody's at, do you all ever meet up? Because that's what I want to start doing down here. I feel like we would have more organization if we just met up on a bi-weekly basis or something like that. Whoever's interested, brainstorming session or something, just to build a more cohesive family. I feel like we all wait for Million Mass March to come around.
True. I do know a few groups that do meet up regularly. Out here, we don't.
Does that work?
Yeah, down here in the southeast, like, I wouldn't say we meet up and have like specific brainstorming sessions, but like we do sometimes as like a group get together and just like kick it, hang out, like go camping, or we'll all crash at someone's house for a weekend and just chill with each other, which that usually just ends up like, we planned stuff. That's how we got involved in going to Flint last year. Like, if we're not directly planning something, we're definitely, pretty much sitting around and like having these conversations we're having right here. But just that is a good way to get to, know all these people that are involved in this that you're working with. I think that's a great thing. On a national level, like, do we go to the Million Mass March? We're going to be in D.C. for like a week hanging out with each other.
Well, I know me, the Watchman, and M have become friends because I was talking. Me and Watchman knew each other online when he was out west, and then when he came here to the Tampa Bay area, we started hanging out. Hell, I spent a week at their house. You know what I mean? We've become friends beyond just the activist end of things.
Yeah, I'm all about spending time together because you have to know the people you're going out with, man. You really do. You have to have trust, and you got to look out for each other, whether it's online or wherever. You have to look out for each other, man.
Yeah,
my family, brother. That's what it's all about.
Well, hey, if you guys are interested, we're invading New Orleans for Mardi Gras this year, and hey, that's a good opportunity to educate people too, right there. So I'm thinking about taking advantage.
Get some videos.
That's not far for us either.
Go teach a bunch of drunk college kids the right truth.
It'll be a welcome relief from the people that are constantly on the streets during Mardi Gras, like preaching religion. And nobody wants to hear that shit when they're partying, man. You're drunk as piss, and somebody's like, you need Jesus, and it's like, I need another fucking beer, dude.
I need Jesus.
But you talk to that guy about shutting down the Fed, overthrowing the government while he's drunk as piss. You're gonna put some ideas in that guy's head.
Oh yeah.
Because deep down, I feel like people know anyway.
Oh, definitely.
Just fucking happen.
You just got to be receptive to the idea at the time. Hey, when you guys do that in New Orleans, you should make some videos.
Oh yeah, definitely. If I go to any march, it'll be videos night.
Definitely, because we'll spread that real easily.
Video, slideshow.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of investment into camera equipment over the last year, so hoping to pop out some really badass videos.
Yeah, I got to get on yours level. I'm really working with some rudimentary equipment out here, but I'm working on it.
I've got to upgrade the phone. I cannot get a live stream to work like from the streets anywhere.
Damn.
What kind of phone are you on right now?
Man, I mean, I got a good phone. It's just that, like, I mean, right now I'm stuck with the Straight Talk. I've burned through almost every phone company on the plans. I'm gonna have to jump in with the prepaid.
Right now I'm on Sprint, and they told me that I've already gone over like 40 gigs, and I'm like, oh crap.
Go with like I do. Go with Metro PCS or Boost, because you don't have a contract and you can register the phone and whatever name and information you get doxxed, they're still getting bullshit information. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
Yeah, that's how I've got my straight talk set up.
Yeah, I don't even hide my identity anymore. I don't even hide anything. Like,
I don't either, man.
Like, they want to dox me with the information. Like, I don't give a fuck.
That's right.
Like in this day and age, if somebody really wants to work everything, they can get it anyway, you know?
I'll tell you who I'm not hiding from is the government. Because I'm well aware that they know who I am. They know who all these accounts trace back to. They know who all the sock puppets belong to. They know who's behind this VPN. They know. If they don't, they need to abolish the NSA because they're not doing their fucking job.
Yes, I don't know. I change phones so often. I change phones so often. They'd be hard pressed. I mean, right now I'm a female. You know what I'm saying? It's registered in a female's name.
Now, do you all think that's necessary anymore? Because I used to do all that, but I don't even concern myself with that anymore. I used to be very like hidden in my identity, but I don't even like care.
Well, here's the thing about VPNs, and somebody pointed this out to me. If you're doing some like malicious behavior on the internet, especially if it's like if you have the VPN hooked up to the same country that you're in, all it takes is one fucking subpoena.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm not doing behavior. That's totally different. If I'm malicious, then yeah, you know what I mean. But I'm talking about just regular like stuff like this, like organized stuff. Like, I don't even hide any of it anymore. Like this behavior is totally different. I just feel like it's not worth the effort.
Man, before I got my ISP, I actually asked them. I said, "Look, I download from torrents. So you're gonna hit me for it?" Oh man, no, you're good. The first 3 days into my service, man, they killed my service. Because I was downloading like 100 gig.
You didn't make it very far at all, did you?
No. And they start bitching, and I'm like, "Hey man, I told you I'm gonna download from torrents." They're like, "Well, you got all these digital copyright violations." I don't give a fuck,
You are being sued by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Torrent is the button, man.
It hurts me, man, the way they've tied torrents up now where it doesn't matter what you download, a PDF file, and they're, hey, you're stealing shit.
Well, they just hit him with 4 copyright violations for posting episode 4 of the show.
Yeah, they did with 4 copyright violations for the intro to episode 4 of this when I uploaded.
It's funny. I've only gotten 2 copyright violations on my internet shit, and that was for 2 different things I used to make Anon videos.
Yeah, I just tell them I'm not selling it, and I'm not trying to make money off of it, and they usually let it fly. But you gotta check the little boxes and submit and all that shit.
I don't tell them shit.
So hey, what do you all think about the new trade agreement? I forgot the acronym.
TMPP or TMPF? It's so secretive. I've tried to understand and wrap my head around it, but isn't it like countries can sue other countries because they lowered the pay wages and shit like that?
Oh yeah, no, that's what is that called? Because that was in the TPP.
That was the TPP, the TTIP, and TISA. That was 3 corporate organizations that were going to basically own the world. With TPP, they would had 40% of the global economy, and that was what we were wrapped up in.
The new one seems to encompass more of the global economy. It seems to be practically the same thing as the TPP, but actually worse on copyright laws, on the court.
I can't understand you.
I remember hearing about some guy in Canada was supposed to vote on it, and he was backlashing on against it, and there was actually a threat on this guy's life. Can you guys confirm that?
I don't know what you're talking about on that one.
I wouldn't be surprised though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. They tried to sneak that shit in here in the United States. They called a recess. They couldn't come to terms. And then while everybody was bitching and arguing about the rebel flag and the gay flag, they came back and passed it through, pushed it right through.
Oh yeah, you're from the South. I can tell that shit. You know exactly what was going on when the TPP shit popped up.
Oh, I was aggravated. We were bitching about flags when that shit was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no. See, I'm in Mississippi, man. So I'm in the state that was causing all that shit.
Right? Yeah. We got the beef here too. They fly a big one here in Tampa, and there has been complaints about it year after year after year. And I really don't. It's a flag. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? There's bigger issues. You know,
Right.
we got bigger things to deal with.
At least,
Yeah, that's. I don't get caught up in all the flaggatry.
I mean, symbols are whatever we make them, you know. Like symbols, that's what I would say. Leave symbols for the simple-minded, leave labels for the label-minded. It's off the George Carlin film. Like, you're arguing over absolutely nothing. There's more important things going on, people. Like.
Hey, are you twisting one, Watchman?
I cannot confirm nor deny.
That's funny. I thought I'd do this one.
I figured it out. If you say it's okay, I'm in a legal state afterwards, it's okay.
Pleads the fifth.
Tell him you got a prescription for
I
it.
just got a whole message in binary. What the fuck?
So what's y'all's opinion on Trump?
Like I was saying before, you know, like, I don't know. You know, you see this kind of shit usually before societies fall. You get some crazy nut job, you know, and I realized that, you know, Democrat, Republican, they're all part of the same party. There's really just shadow people pulling the strings. But honestly, I think he's fucking like retarded and shit. I don't think he's like a really smart guy at all. Like, I think
I think he's an idiot myself.
Like a lot of the shit that, like, you know, that he was part of the KKK, that shit was photoshopped. I don't know the truth about it. I really haven't dug into it. But
yeah, that thing with his mom and dad with the KKK outfits, that shit's totally fake. Like, I mean, I'll be the first guy to say that. There's plenty that we can use against the guy. We don't need to make shit up.
No, yeah, but his dad was an opium dealer. That's how they made their family fortune, for Christ's sakes. That's good enough.
Like,
all right.
Like, honestly, like, I don't think he's like the brightest bulb in the block, but a lot of people got pissed off from this executive order on the flight ban from these 7 countries, right? But Obama was talking about it like not even that long ago, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who you get in office, you're gonna end up with the same fucking shit. Now
shit.
Now they might play out a little different, but you're probably gonna end up with a similar result. So that's why I'm saying the whole establishment needs to fucking just go. It needs to go.
It's the same agenda because they have bosses.
When they decided who our 2 candidates were, I started bitching right away. I said we need to scrap the whole thing and start over again.
Yo, don't even vote. Don't even vote. Throw a Molotov cocktail at the fucking voting booth. That's what we should have fucking done. That would have sent the message real fucking clear.
You know, I feel like voting is just to see how many people are still brainwashed because you're voting.
It's like we have a choice between retard and full retard, but they're both retarded. You know?
Yeah. Yo, do you know they're related? Hillary Clinton and Trump. They're 18th cousins.
No.
What the fuck?
A lot of the people, a lot of the 1% in this world are related, and you can track their lineage.
Oh yeah, you can track their lineage.
Centuries.
There's only like 2 presidents in the history of the world of the U.S. that have not been related or something, and their wives were related though. You know.
Yep. I mean, Obama's 6th cousin to Cheney, and a lot of them can be traced back to the guy who made who signed the Magna Carta, the same one that you see. The emperor that you see on the Robin Hood things, I forgot his name, Lord John something or whatever.
Didn't an 8-year-old
Richard the Lionheart?
Something like that. I believe
Richard the Lionheart?
That's who it is, yeah.
And then they go back to Pharaoh something, like?
Mm-hmm.
David Icke saying? They are related to Pharaoh.
Oh yeah, they all goes back to the Illumitard bloodlines. I mean, they all do. They all go right back to the Illumitards.
Mm-hmm. I think it goes back. I mean, it goes back really far. I'm not even sure, but like Babylon, like it goes back very far. Like it's hard to find this information, especially valid sources, you know. But I do believe that the same families have been controlling humanity at least since the creation of currency.
Well, you were right. I've tracked them all the way back to Babylon. I've tracked them. I'm a big history buff.
Well, who were they before they were the Masons?
Mm-hmm.
Who were they before they were the Masons?
You had the Templars, and before the Templars, you had the
the Templars. That's right. That's right.
Jesuits,
Christians,
the Jesuits.
No, in my opinion, Rothschild.
Well, the Red Shield. Yeah.
To me, it's like the Vatican, London, and Washington, D.C. is the trifecta of global power.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't a lot of money through the central banks goes through the Vatican, if I'm not correct, right?
Absolutely.
The Vatican is the oldest corporation in the world.
Yep.
Yeah. And the three cities are all countries on their own. You've got the Vatican City, London, and D.C. are all their own countries. One represents religion, the other is money, and the other is military.
No, yeah, it's money, religion, and war. That's Washington, D.C. is war, the war machine.
Right. Yeah, London is money, and of course, Vatican's the religion.
Have you guys ever heard that we're still living under the Holy Roman Empire? That's what that is. That this gets traced back all the way back to that.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
yeah, they call us the new Rome.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. Man, it's so nice to talk to people who know what I'm talking about. It's a breath of fresh air, for real.
Yeah, I know. It gets desperate when you talk to, your average Joe and they look at you cross-eyed.
Get the fluoride.
The fluoride stare, is that what you said?
What irks me is they still use, in D.C., our politicians still use the term bread and circuses, which is a Roman term meaning keep the people fed and entertained and you get away with whatever the fuck you want. Our politicians still use that term in D.C. Bread and circuses.
Yeah, controlling the masses.
Exactly, controlling the masses.
What do you think the NFL is? We literally pay taxes.
Give them the Roman pizza in the Super Bowl, and we do whatever we want.
It's a distraction. Anything with the word ball in it is a distraction.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, people.
So you're saying soccer's all right?
They'll pay all this money
to go football everywhere else.
to go out and protest for their rights for free, you know.
Those soccer, those
yeah,
guys
that's my sport, is hitting the street and fucking throwing down.
But how do you think we can engage regular people on subjects like this? Because this is like, it's very earth-shattering to people who don't understand this stuff, and they don't want to believe it.
Many people are thriving for this stuff, man.
There was
Many
a couple
people are thriving for this stuff.
And on PTW, we were thinking about originally. We were thinking about going out. Like we saw this like vegan crew. They were going out into the streets and like posting all this like they're walking around with like laptops and tablets, showing videos on like education on like how this whole whatever their agenda was. But going out there into the public and maybe doing it that way, handing out flyers, and maybe even just doing a protest. That might just be just going directly at the fucking source.
Well, here's an idea I had. Have you guys heard of these USB dead drops?
Yes, I've gone over that with Unknown Legion as a way to alternate form of communication, staying offline.
Well, not even to be used as a form of communication, but I'm thinking like, people know about these things and like they'll go check them out. They got whole maps of these things. Hit up these maps and just load these things down with text files that are,
information.
Fed, Op Monsanto, this, that, information about everything going on, what we can do, how to get involved.
The only problem with that's been brought up to me that when we were discussing it is you'll have malicious people like these trolls that are going to load a virus into these USBs and start crashing people's computers just for the lulz, and then that'll screw that all up.
Well, another way me and Jody were talking about getting messages out there is buying billboards.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. That was one of our little sneaky things, you know.
Hey,
spray
like
and pray.
Project Mayhem, man. Fuck buying the billboard, man. Take it over. A little bit of spray paint goes a long way.
I feel like
Yeah.
I gotta play the game a little now, like
You know, where I live in the concrete jungle, you know, I don't think anybody really gives a shit if you're fucking tagging up shit.
No, and that's another thing that we should definitely be doing. Like, we should, you know, if we had a Twitter that we could get a bunch of graffiti artists to follow all over the country, and, you know, a short message that'll fit in a tweet, just tweet it out, and then bam, this message pops up in cities all over the country in unison. That would be pretty powerful.
The anti-propaganda. The anti-propaganda.
It's counter-propaganda. We got it.
Yeah.
That's all I do is
Counter-propaganda. Anti-propaganda was how the revolution was started. Anti-propaganda, the anti-media of the times, you know, the revolutionaries, they had their own media source. They pushed their own newspapers, and you know, that's what we're seeing now. We need to come out and support these real media sources, and for the love of God, quit sharing shit from Anon HQ.
Oh my God, that CIA op. Oh my God, that CIA op.
Quit sharing articles from InfoWars. Quit sharing articles from the Young Turks. Quit sharing articles from all these bullshit. You know, they pretend like they're the alternative media, but all they're doing is further pushing the agenda, especially fucking InfoWars. If you people are listening out there and you're still listening to InfoWars...
He's an FBI agent.
I don't know if he's per se an FBI agent, but Alex Jones is definitely pushing an agenda.
He's
I'm
in
going to skip
contact.
this break. I'm going to skip this break. I know I need to plug my Collidial Silver. I mean, my, you know... Nathan
Yes,
Iodine.
please buy my... I mean, he pushes shit that is good for you, that works. I don't know if his brand is any good. I don't know what the fuck he's selling, but...
He always comes across that he's like on like some sort of amphetamine. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry,
He
dude.
confuses the shit out of everything, man.
Well, you know, a lot of the alternative news, people don't pay attention. Like R&T, people are all in the R&T news. Isn't that what Turks are on? R&T stands for Reuters. Reuters is owned by the elite. I mean, it's one of the major international media companies.
Wait, are you talking about the one with the green and the black? No, you're talking about RT. That's Russia Today. That is actually outside of the Reuters network.
I was under the impression it was owned by Reuters.
It's not that I'm aware of. We can look that up right now.
Yeah, I can't Google right now.
But it's like it's Russian. It's the Russian state media.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, they definitely push a lot of good shit. Yeah, state owned. Or some shit I can't pronounce, news agency, which founded RT in 2005, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's like straight Russian shit.
No shit. Well, that's like with Alex Jones, a lot of the stuff he says is the truth, but what he's doing is just playing the other side. These Illumitards play both sides of every conflict, and people don't realize that. He's playing his role. He's doing his part.
What he's meant to do is, like, you know, I mean, I was there at one point. I woke up and I wake up, I'm definitely not going to go right back to the people that had me asleep to get the news. The first thing I found was InfoWars, and he's the guy out there that's supposed to, you know, originally he was just scooping up all the fresh ones and, you know, keeping them in that next level of the matrix. And it's evolved to the point where now he's like specifically geared towards like the right side in America. Like he's scooping up the right. And then you got the Young Turks, they're the exact same thing on the left. And I mean, you can see it when they get together and they fake fight on camera and put it. Oh, I got attacked by the Young Turks. I got attacked by Alex Jones. They're violent. They're crazy. But dude, they're behind the camera and they're fucking laughing it up.
Yeah,
because they just played all you
they
fucking
play both
retards.
sides of the conflict. They play both sides of the conflict every time. That way, no matter who wins, they win.
Yeah, nobody knows what's going on.
But you can tell. I mean, they'll tell you all about a problem, but they will offer no solutions. You know, and people can come to them with a problem, and they won't help them. You know, that's how you know people are frauds, man.
They are just confusing everything, man.
Yeah.
Well, now they're spinning it so hard. Like, they're spinning stuff harder than the mainstream media is. The mainstream media has kind of regressed to more kind of like, this is what happened, and it might be the truth, it might be a lie, it might be half truth, half lie. But the layer that like Alex Jones and all of them are on, dude, they're spinning it so hard. They're the ones that are causing all this fear of immigrants, all this other shit.
That's because they're prepping our population for
gays.
civil war.
Yes, they have It's all about.
They're prepping our population for civil war. They're gassing everybody up. Got everybody terrified.
I feel like Alex Jones and the young person, they give you a sliver of truth or wrap in a cocoon of lies to confuse you. Like, and then knock people off the directions they need to go.
Oh man, I wish I would have saved it. I saw Paul Joseph Watson. He's on InfoWars Network, if y'all don't know who he is. And I saw someone share something from him like 4 days ago, and it was an opinion on something. Like, it was very opinionated on something, leaning one way, and then I see him post a few days later, and it's completely the opposite. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if I would have screenshotted the first one, I definitely would have had the pair of them and been like, what the fuck is this? Like, if I wasn't so busy, I'd go back and find all that shit. I wish I could even remember what it was about, but it was just like, dude, you're literally coming both ways.
The reason they do that is they know your average American. They're, like you did. You're not your average American. You're awake. You keep track of that shit. Your average American's going to read that once. Half the group got the first article, and then the other half got the other, article, not knowing that the two articles came out because they don't pay that much attention. Our attention span is like nothing.
They just read the headline. They don't even read the article.
That is true. People are only reading the headlines on shit. And dude, I had this happen today. I put out an article about the attempted SpaceX launch today, just because I was bored this morning, needed something to do while I was having my morning coffee and shit. And right, and so this guy comments on it, and he's like talking shit and like starting to refute all this stuff because I guess he interpreted my headline the wrong way and thought I was just like outright attacking this space exploration company. And if you get to the bottom of my article, it straight up says like, I have a lot of respect for these guys. I definitely support moving space exploration away from the government sector and into the private sector.
Yeah, it'd be cheaper. And we'll get more transparency, probably.
Well, yeah, we'll get more transparency, and we'll get better technology.
Yeah,
and we're seeing that with them
because it'll be more cost effective.
They had a launch failure today, but my article goes on to say that they've had numerous successful launches. They're doing really fucking well, and like this dude just like gets on there defending SpaceX like I fucking attacked them, and it's like, dude,
read it.
You clearly didn't read.
Finish reading the article, pal.
You didn't even click it open. You just read the headline and got fucking mad.
Yeah, that's why
read the article,
that's why I always second guess myself when I put out those videos. I'm like, well, okay, if they watch it till the end, they won't get pissed, right?
Anybody see the article where the Pope says Muslims are not a terror threat? It was on Drudge Report today.
No, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, it was just an article on Drudge Report. But yeah, it's got the Pope, and he's saying, the Muslims are not a terror threat to people. I'm like, man, that's so bogus.
Well, really, it's the hired Muslim mercs that are the more the terror threat. You know what I mean? It's the guys who are getting paid by the shadow government that are the biggest terror threat of all.
A lot of them are.
That's the simple fact.
A lot of them are Israelis as well.
Mercenaries. I said mercenaries.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, the head of it, the religious leader of ISIS is an Israeli Mossad agent. I posted on the of Black Hawk helicopter traces. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking farce, man. They're mercs.
That's why I don't like saying like Muslims in general are a terror threat, because I don't think Islam or Muslims in general are the terror threat. I think it's the shadow governments orchestrating the stuff from behind the scenes. You know,
the black ops.
Exactly.
Well, a lot of them were trained. Well, a lot of them were trained by, wasn't it the Mujahideen? That's what they originally were, and those guys were trained by the CIA, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But with Osama bin Laden was because his family was so wealthy, they were the contacts with our government. Osama bin Laden was a CIA agent.
Absolutely.
Remember, Al Qaeda was even made up. It was based out of a courtroom in 1999, I believe. It was. They had gotten this guy that was supposedly in contact with Osama bin Laden. He was like just a contact, and he made up everything in the courtroom, and he made up this like imaginary terrorist cell called Al Qaeda. And then when Osama bin Laden heard about Al Qaeda, he's looking around like, what's Al Qaeda?
No, definitely. He didn't start saying he was Al Qaeda until after the CIA designation.
He's like, the CIA's like calling him up on the phone. They're like, dude,
they were.
You're Al Qaeda.
Dude, you're Al Qaeda.
Al Qaeda.
They were called the Mujahideen.
Something like that.
Yeah, and we set them up.
We gave them
sent Zebediah. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Brzezinski over to Afghanistan and gave Osama bin Laden and his whole crew a shitload of weapons and said, "Go fight Russia, motherfucker."
Yeah, yeah, we did that.
You know, we absolutely did the same thing with ISIS just to destroy the Syrian regime. Like, we funded and made and created ISIS. It's absolutely no different.
Greater Israel, ISS has a purpose to create Greater Israel. All the conflicts there.
Absolutely.
I've got pictures of ISIS members with the Star of David tattoo, U.S. Army tattoo. I mean, it's like, come on, man. At least try. You know, at least try to not be obvious mercs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And those studio videos, man.
Oh yeah, Jihadi John. But that was fake.
Yeah,
it was done. It was all fucking fake, you know. And oh yeah. Here's another thing that our government has done, and I've caught a few of these court cases. Remember that terrorist cell that they said was Al Qaeda, and this was during the Bush administration, and they got like 4 like mentally handicapped guys that were immigrants. And we're basically giving them, they gave them fake missile launchers, and then they were convincing these guys, FBI informants were telling these guys to try and create a criminal act, and they all went to fucking jail.
Yep, the FBI always does that. That's what they do. That's what they do every single time.
And these guys wouldn't have known if they had done the wrong thing. That's the thing. They wouldn't have known. They were that mentally handicapped.
It's to scare people. It's Hegelian dialectic.
Oh yeah, they probably thought, you know, Al Qaeda was a falafel or something. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know clue.
Did they ever tell you about that one thing where they thought that they had uncovered a terrorist plot, but it was actually what they found these drawings after doing a search warrant, and the drawings that they had found out were done by some fucking mentally insane guy who thought he was a military advisor of a foreign country and had committed suicide. And the notes were fucking 2 years old, and they were done by some guy who heard fucking voices. Yeah, I'm serious.
Unbelievable.
Do you realize that
unbelievable.
The Saudi Arabian hijackers that supposedly did 9/11, like 5 of them are still alive. Like, those are totally...
Yeah, and their wallet was found. One of them's wallet was found, you know, it survived the crash and all the burning, and was found.
No, they were never in the crash. There was no. They
But
were
that
not.
black box didn't.
Yeah, it's just amazing, you know.
Did you see that leaked video that they got from that hotel room? With the one that hit the Pentagon, and it looks like it didn't get hit by an actual plane. It looks like it got hit by a missile. A missile.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, $1 trillion were missing from Pentagon after that missile attack.
Budget, whatever office.
Yeah. Well, the day before, what's his name? The Secretary of Defense had announced that the Pentagon had lost like $2 trillion, and then the next day 9/11 happened. Everybody forgot about that missing $2 trillion.
Exactly.
Said he was going to have a war on Pentagon overspending, and then the next day that all happened.
Well, and those were the buildings that all the files were kept in, also.
Oh, just happened.
It just happened to hit
all
that
the
part.
records.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing I love about that picture, though, is if you look on the right-hand side of the hole in the Pentagon, there's a wooden stool sitting there on the second floor. And I'm thinking, jet fuel is melting steel beams at the World Trade Center, but didn't burn that wooden stool there on the right-hand side of the freaking hole. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Seriously.
I remember them telling they were interviewing workers from the Pentagon, and they were saying they were having a distinct sweet smell, which was resemblance of the detonation that you would get from a missile.
No, the Pentagon was definitely it's on. I got film of it. It was definitely a missile. Plus the hole was a missile. Plus there's eyewitnesses who said it was a missile. Plus it's almost an impossible maneuver for a plane to do.
Yeah, they couldn't even find the titanium from the Pratt Whitney engines. Come on, dude.
Right, yeah, they pulled out propeller engines, and there was supposed to be a jet turbine engine from the plane that hit it, but it was a propeller engine. Yeah.
Pennsylvania was just
What gets me about that crash altogether is anytime there's an airline crash, the FFA comes in and they get every piece of that crash and they take it to a massive hangar and they label each piece and they examine each piece. But when it hits the World Trade Center, Bush is like, "Oh, we sent it to China for scrap."
Really?
Yes, they did.
Have any of y'all seen the what is his name? Oh man, he's a Russian nuclear scientist.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. He's absolutely right. Dmitry.
Yeah, Kershkov or something like that. Yeah, he is awesome, dude. It's kind of a slow documentary, but or whatever. But it's pretty good, man. I mean, that's what I think is the closest to the truth out of the whole deal.
He was saying that they put nuclear bombs under about 150 meters under the ground of World Trade Center 1 and 2, and it created a cavity.
Shells, I think.
Melted down into it. And that's the only
without a doubt.
What about Hutchison effect, man?
They were made as nuclear chimneys because in New York City, when you build a building, you have to have a way to demolish it. That was the demolition plan. And by the way, the Rockefellers are the ones who created that building. This was planned a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, what about Hutchison effect?
When you look at the once they cleared all the rubble and everything out, you see the support beams, you see them cut at a perfect angle, all of them, for a controlled demo, for drop straight down. All four beams.
Well, there was more than one way those towers were taken down, and that was definitely thermite, but there was tritium levels in the World Trade Center area that there's only one, and microscopic iron spheres, that only happens in a nuclear event. Like, there's no other ways that the chemistry that happened down there happened, And all we have to do to prove this is take a core sample. That's all we have to do. Take a core sample.
I still think the biggest joke of that all is.
Hello?
Down, she's reading her script, and the building's still standing behind her.
Yes, yep.
Oh my God, that one was great.
I have a video.
And the building 11?
I have a video also of I forgot the department's name, but it's part of the Secret Service that they're responsible for the transportation of nuclear material, and then he's caught in Building 7 looking suspicious as shit.
Yeah, that's on that documentary.
You didn't see anything.
They got that little insect.
No nuclear bombs here. No nuclear weapons.
9/11 ground zero meant that nuclear explosion.
He's wearing a radiation hood. He pulls it off. Yeah.
And I mean, I lived up there during that time, and there was melting metal a year after. What else causes a reaction like that? That a year after
melting.
Well, the first responders, the firemen, some of the ones that had gone into the building when it was coming down and all that, made it and survived, they toured for a couple years doing conferences around the country trying to explain to people what they saw and that there was no way in hell some planes with jet fuel did that. And we're talking the first responder firemen that were there on the spot.
Yes. And think about it. Think of all the cancers they have now. If you look up the cancers they have, that's acute radiation poisoning. That's not a
Yep.
Like it just pisses me off. It's all a fucking lie. I swear. Nothing.
Did anybody ever watch Loose Change with those phone calls from the planes that were fake?
Yep. Corbett. That's Corbett. He's a very good media source. Like for media information, he's always been on point for me. I haven't found him lying yet, and I look hard.
They did a whole movie about the whole plane that went down in Pennsylvania, like a whole fake story for that with like movie in theaters and everything. Like just to reinforce that narrative.
Well, I wouldn't doubt if it happened, if passengers did take it over, but then I bet our military blasted it out in the sky so that nobody would be able to have it.
There was no plane left over. I don't think there ever was a plane in Pennsylvania.
There was no wreckage. There was no wreckage anywhere.
I think the missile for Building 7 hit Pennsylvania by mistake.
Well, what I don't get is, and you can look this up, it's a regular problem. If a flock of fucking Canadian geese can take down one of these fucking planes like it's nothing, shredded, tear it apart, you're telling me that, steel and freaking concrete are just going to fold when it's impacted by it? Come on, man. Seriously?
There's planes in the sky. Why is there a stand-down order? Why did they not shoot them out the sky?
And why were they running a mysterious? They said that the FAA said that they were running a military exercise where they had fake blips on it. Come on, that's fucking bullshit, dude. That's like, and then unicorns and fucking, you know what I mean? It's so fucking. It's like almost as unbelievable as the Osama bin Laden, like in the SEAL.
Is that Ed? Same thing happened in London bombing. Same thing happened in Sandy Hook. They do that all the time. During false flags, you always find some kind of similar exercise going on around it.
That's the common
Even Oklahoma
feature.
City bombing, they found like there was some government involvement in that shit.
I haven't looked into that one, but I don't doubt it.
Slick.
You're telling me some retard with fucking ammonia nitrate fucking did all that shit? I don't think so.
Yeah, unlikely. They tried it in the early 90s. They tried with the pulling like they did the Oklahoma City bombing, pulling some trucks in the underground parking and tried to bring down the trade centers, and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
what was that? 1991?
Yeah, 91 or 92, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Well, you all brought up Building 7, but Larry Silverstein, which bought the whatever like a couple months before this happened, he said straight up that he told that building. Like he said that on PBS, like that he is the one who told them to take it down. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, he did. He admitted to it.
Him himself did, yeah. Like, and then he got like a gigantic insurance settlement after this is all done. Like it's obvious. And the securities that were traded right before 9/11 and all this stuff, there was so much fishy stuff going on. And the Bushes had something going on too, where they got, I forgot what it is, some kind of bond or something, some kind of financial instrument that they cashed out very hard because of the aftermath and the chaos after 9/11. Like,
yeah,
all they do is follow the money. And Loose Change is a very good documentary. It covers a lot of what I'm talking about.
Well, that's just like all the major CEOs of the companies that worked within towers. They just happen to take the same day off, and it happened to be that day. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Really? All these guys took the same day off, and it just happened to be that day. Meanwhile, the secretaries went to work.
Just happened to take out all these massive insurance policies.
Yes. Right. He bought the building. Nobody wanted the buildings because they were full of asbestos, and it would cost too much to get them up to regulation. Like it was a money trap.
Yeah.
Something was happening, Hey, have any of you seen that stupid Back to the Future 9/11 thing? Where it shows how Back to the Future predicted 9/11?
No, I hadn't seen that one.
You have to check that out.
Simpsons one, where they did 9/11 and the Simpsons did the Trump election and all that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the Matrix.
Complexion.
The Matrix and Neo's ID is expired on 9/11. Like they put that crap in movies all the time.
You see that where if you look at the one the window or the screen, the movie they're watching, if you look at it upside down, you see the buildings falling.
You did see the Matrix one. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how they predicted that. Like it's like predictive programming.
They were in a hotel room or something like that.
Absolutely.
I think it was the year 2000 or maybe 99. There was an episode of Johnny Bravo that had like outside a movie theater, there was a plane crashing into the World Trade Center, and it was like supposed to be, you know, like a movie poster, and you know it had "coming soon" across it. Like, you know, I mean, come on, like what the fuck?
There's a magazine where Rockefeller talks about building the World Trade Center back in the 60s, and on his watch, it says 9/11. Like, all these things are not a coincidence, you know? Like,
I don't believe in coincidence.
Neither do I. I believe in patterns. They're a pattern. Absolutely.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I do not believe in coincidence.
Me either.
Especially when you got like 100 coincidences all for one event. I mean, come on, the odds are astronomical.
Do you ever remember,
That was pre-programming, man.
Do you ever remember like Bush's face when they told him that the Trade Center was going down? He had this like retarded look, like he didn't know what was going on. Like,
oh yeah, he looked like a scared kid, like
you know what's funny?
Afraid he was going to get busted sitting in the principal's office.
I actually think that like, you know, the guys running behind the scenes never really informed the president because he was like so fucking retarded. He would have never like understood any of that shit. You know,
he knew it was going to happen ahead of time. Look, have you seen the video? No, listen to this. Have you seen the video from right before they come in and tell him, or like I think he was reading a book when they told him, right?
Yeah,
so it was like right before,
right before was the name of the book.
But they have video of the class before that, and he's like sitting in the classroom with them. And the teacher's having the kids read a series of words, and it's like two random words mixed in with plane, must, hit, steal.
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck?
If you just look at Bush, he's sitting there looking like a kid in the principal's office, you know, like he's just waiting for the fucking hammer to come down. You can tell he's fucking terrified.
Like, I'm gonna get caught. I'm too dumb to pull this off. Why they make me do this?
Where's the
normally when you see him, he's all like good. He was sitting there tense, terrified. I swear, he looked like he was gonna fucking shit himself.
Right. But you know, my thing is, how do we get rid?
I think Trump is going to be the only more retarded president that we had than him.
Oh yeah, he's definitely competing hard.
Yeah.
God, what was it I saw today where he was like, it was something where he was just like trying to explain something and he had no idea what he was talking about, so he was just like going on about like, yeah, it's bad, it's really bad, it's super duper bad. And it's like,
remember when he was talking about trying to control the internet, and he was, you know, we need to call the CEOs for Microsoft or some shit.
Yeah. I was always so embarrassed when he got on national TV. I was always so embarrassed when he got on national TV because he just made a fool of our country to the whole world every time he spoke, man. It was just so embarrassing.
A fool.
Oh man, there was somebody put out like a video of, man, I know it wasn't all of them, but like a shitload of all the times where he's like terrorism, terror attack.
Yeah,
and it's just like, dude, that shit is fucking hilarious to me. But like,
yeah, we got to worry about them terror guys.
That's how they get you with
guys.
Muslims, terrorists.
Repetition. Yeah. I'll repeat it to you until you fucking believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fear-based mind control, Hegelian dialectic, problem reaction solution.
Then what is DHS for? You know what that means? They basically turn us into terrorists. Anybody who doesn't agree with the government, you know?
Oh yeah, well that's during the Obama administration. I think it was halfway through his 8 years. They flip-flopped it on it. It was no longer any of the Muslim, Brotherhood or any of that was on the terror list. It was
now it's us.
Anonymous. Yeah, it's anonymous. Christian churches. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Yeah, the veterans. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. You just flipped the script on us right quick.
They need someone to fight. All that war equipment was coming back from overseas. Like, they need someone to fight.
Yeah, right?
The military-industrial complex always needs an enemy. You know, if it ain't going to be overseas, they need to be domestic.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they had been trying to get into Iraq. Well, back into Iraq for years. Like, they weren't. When we got kicked out at what, 97, 98, and the entire time we were trying to get back into Iraq. Funny thing about this election season, everybody says that Bernie Sanders has a spotless war voting record. That was a lie. In 1998 or 1999, I'm not sure which one, Bernie Sanders actually voted in favor of invading Iraq.
I remember him doing something, invading the Balkans or something like that as well.
Have any of y'all seen Hillary's America?
No. Oh, God, I don't.
I don't know
God, I
what
hope.
to
Right? I don't. Oh, my God.
It is worth the watch, dude. Emily wanted to pick it up, and I was like, "Yeah." We picked it up from Redbox, dude. It tells you so much truth about the Democratic Party, man. I mean, it blows your fucking mind, and it's worth the watch. It really is.
You know,
dirty.
Hillary has so much fucking dirt on her. It's not even funny. There was the crisis in Haiti. That was a scandal where she gave all of her money to all of her friends, and then they had.
I'm pretty sure she funneled all that Haiti money straight into the island run by Epstein down there.
Yeah. Pizzagate pedo fuck.
Here's another one. Is that one of her buddies was caught out in Sudan or some African country that was war torn, and he was paying off both of the warlords to try and get this land so they could open up some sort of diamond mine.
Well, I got a question for all you. What do you all think about all the elites pretty much being pedophiles?
I believe it 100%. I've been researching it for years. I've got all kinds of records on it.
Yeah, I've been on this way longer than before it was Pizzagate. We've been trying to break this.
Exactly.
Those emails were really what we've been looking for, and the fact that it was used to further the Trump campaign did nothing but take away from the legitimacy of this. I know so many activists. Oh, no. I know so many activists that, like, dude, they'll look at me and they'll shake their head and be like, I can't believe you believe in that Pizzagate shit. And, like, they're fucking serious.
Man, there's interviews with victims from going back in the 70s, adult, females and stuff doing interviews all the way back to the 70s.
You don't have to convince me. I've been exposing that shit for 5 years. I know people that have been exposing this shit since before I was born.
Exactly.
Top Death Eaters. There's way more shit than just pizza.
Yeah. Right? I mean,
a fucking iceberg.
You know, me and my boy are the ones that started Op-Expose CPS on how the government is funneling kids into that trade.
Right. Is pedophile shit related to devil rituals or something kind of that?
I mean, you can...
Hello?
Hello? Whoa.
Yeah, we got confused.
What was I doing again?
Somebody my iPod.
Did we lose somebody?
I don't know. Got quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, somebody was talking, it didn't come in good, and then they somebody said to repeat, and it never happened, so I don't know.
I think we might have lost Arthur.
I don't see him.
I don't see him either.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You know one thing that's crazy though?
Excuse me.
Crazy how connected they all are.
Man, I really respect the way that the show's going, man. It's not a lot of people talking on top of each other, and it seems like everybody gets a good voice. I'd like to give you all a pat on the back for that, man.
Yeah, no, this show is pretty awesome, actually. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely impressed.
Yeah, it takes an effort to pull that off, but I'm kind of used to that myself from like Occupy, because that's like those big General Assembly meetings get like that. So
yeah, I apologize if I talk over anybody. I don't mean to. I'm just very passionate about all this, you know.
Yeah, you should have seen me. You should have seen me freaking out. I was like, "Oh God, is that gonna stream? Is that gonna stream? Is that gonna stream? Oh God, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to stream this. I only know half of what I'm doing."
Yeah, I'm used to it because I used to do a talk morning radio show with a group, so you kind of gotta not talk over each other.
Well, this is the first time I've been on any kind of program like this, though. I'm new at this.
Yeah, I've done a couple of shows here and there that other people do, like coming on as a guest for different ops I've been a part of, but that's really about it. I've never been keen on the public speaking, so. But
this is the only one I've done where it's been all awake people. Usually I'm the conspiracy theory nut job on the morning show. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one.
Like, whoa, we got a good one here today, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me I'm a conspiracy theory nut job because I eat those words. I make them eat those words every single time because it's very simple. Like all this evidence is right out in front of people's face. Just got to point them in that direction. You know. They're scared to cognitive dissonance. That's all it is, you know? Because then they have to change the way they behave if they take this information as true, you know? A lot of people don't want that responsibility.
The truth we speak contradicts the lie they live.
Absolutely.
Well, some people will hold on to it because of that. They're not ready to give it up. They're not. If they set that lie, that means they have to give up that life at some point. Like, I guess that's why I'm so ready for whatever it takes to move past this, because I'm not attached to this materialistic life. You know, I don't need to have the 72-inch TV mounted to my fucking wall. I don't need all this shit. I could be happy in a fucking tent myself.
Actually, I'm happier in a tent. I watch my movies on my phone.
I need my hardwire internet.
Oh, well, yeah, if I'm doing internet stuff, I've got to be on a desktop.
Yeah. TV. I haven't owned a TV in like 5 years. I care less what's on TV.
Yeah, I unplugged like 5 years ago.
I use my TV for my second monitor.
Yeah, that's what I've got going on. I've actually got the show set up on my TV is like where is the monitor I'm using it to stream from because it's like out of the way and it's off to the side, and I've got, you know, a whole working space in front of me with the other stuff. But I mean, that's all it is. It's a place to throw extra stuff on the computer at this point.
Yeah.
All right, the cable box isn't plugged up. I don't know if we're even paying for cable at this point. I don't.
I only watch movies. I download them off Showbox. That's all I do. I watch movies. That's about it here and there. Other than that, I read on my Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've got two decent sized bookshelves right next to me. I love the paper books.
So do I.
I tried the Kindle. I don't know.
I know what you're saying. I like the books, but I like the fact that I can carry around 250 books in my one hand. You know what I'm saying?
I will load stuff that I can't. You know, I'm broke. I need a new book. I'll load it on the Kindle, but for the most part, I don't use it.
Right. I carry mine everywhere with me.
I have a question for you guys. You guys all talked about illegitimate news sources. What about some good news sources? What's some good news sources out there?
Oh, wow. Man.
Anonymous Bites Back is a good one.
Other than yourselves, like what else?
Well, in the anonymous community, we don't have a whole lot of options. I know I myself, we've got the Anon Resistance news section. Mark's got another project. I'll have to get a URL on that one. And then there's Anon Intel Group. And then other than that, for news coming out of Anonymous, it really seems like there's only the bullshit shill groups. I mean, if anybody knows anything else, I'd love to see that. I get
the bullshit group. Like I go out
Drudge Report. Really, I hit Drudge Report pretty hard.
I don't like them sometimes though. Sometimes I feel like they are too right wing for me. They're too I mean they have some truth as well, but I feel like they're in the whole spectrum of politics as well. It's not pure truth.
And
I don't trust them myself. I feel like they're more akin to the Alex Jones level.
Right.
I was actually listening to that fucker today, and like, oh my god, dude, yeah, and like I was just like listening to the recorded podcast, whatever the fucking shit it was from Friday's episode, and dude, like I could only like listen to him for like 20 minutes before like I'm like, dude, you need to lay off whatever the fuck you're talking about because it's not all the Democrats, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, he is
he blames it on the Democrats. He blamed the disruptive J20 on the Democrats. I'm like, dude, what fucking planet are you living on?
Yeah,
dude?
see, I follow one of my favorite news sources. Like, I'm a big anarchist, so I like to get anarchist news. So I follow the Stimulator and Submedia TV, and they were actually a big part of the promotion for J20. That's how our group got involved. I mean, we got involved with them promoting this before the election even happened. It had nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. Disrupt J20 was going down either fucking way.
Did we catch InfoWars watching our show?
I've been checking out Nice Citizens News with Eric Moore and Dabu 7. They've been doing.
Yeah, I like Dabu 7.
Well, they've been doing some stuff here lately. A lot of live, like for the inauguration, they had people all over the inauguration doing live streaming. That was pretty cool stuff, man. Just to see them out there, active,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen. It seems to me like Dabu's getting more right wing, like hardcore right wing opinionated with his reports.
Right.
I mean, you have to watch everything.
We Are Change. They're guilty as well. Like one of the biggest people I looked up to for a long time, like wanting to become a journalist, was Luke from We Are Change, and I've been seeing him like go really hardcore. I happen to know why. It's because he's banging Cassandra Fairbanks, who's like pretty much like a step away from full-blown fascist at this point, the way that bitch is talking. And yeah, he's doing what she says, doing what he thinks will please her, doing what he thinks will get him more pussy.
Right.
And that's sad that you're gonna compromise what you're about for a piece of ass. Especially as a journalist. So if you're listening, Luke, fuck you, bro.
Well, you got to watch everything, because I've even come across several, anonymous news groups that they're pushing an agenda. You know what I'm saying? I surf through everything and try and sort out the truth from the bullshit.
That's why I'm trying to push real hard to give an outlet, and what Mark's doing is, man, they're pumping out some fucking articles. That dude scooped up all the fucking writers. Somebody on here's got to know the address for that one.
For Mark's site?
Which page?
Yeah,
which
the news one.
In my, I might have it saved in my speed dial. Let me look. And is this?
It's not Worldwide Operations, is it? The web page?
Probably.
Hold on,
Probably.
I'm gonna drop the URL into the chat. Here, I got it right here. Anonymous Worldwide. Let's see here.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't have operations in the thing.
No. Here, it's in the chat now. Right there.
Yeah, so it is. It's anonymousworldwide.com. They're cranking out articles really fast, which is what I wish I could be doing.
I'm hoping to hear from old Barrett Brown, man, now that he's been out for a little bit, but I guess
he's still in like the halfway house kind of deal, right. I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
I know he said he's got some stuff coming. I watched his release or whatever,
I would love to have that guy involved in what we're doing right here. I mean, dude, that's pretty much that's pretty much what they were doing back on Stickam back in the day. when he got raided is like what we're doing right here, you know, just a panel of Anons getting together and chatting, dude. They had a following watching that, just like, you know, we got going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's been another serious role model for what, you know, how I've pursued what I've done, like getting involved in the citizen journalism and especially trying to get out there and get the perspective myself, because like, man, even I thought so many things about a lot of stuff going on, and then when I get out there to go and cover it myself, it's like, damn, even I didn't realize
what was going on.
Yeah, it's like, this is like the story is so far twisted.
It really is, man. No matter what story you're looking at, really.
Isn't that something they teach you in basic journalism? You know, is that, you know, not to have a biased view?
It's hard not to, though, man. No matter what, if you're, you know, how you're reporting, you're going to lean one way or the other.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm biased towards truth. Period.
Yeah, I try to stick to this facts, or if I throw my opinion. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I was saying, like, if I'm doing something, I try to stick to the facts as much as possible, and if I throw any kind of opinion in there, I try to, like, you know, make it clear, like, you know, this is my opinion. This doesn't mean you should think this. This is how I feel about it.
Right.
I try to separate those away from each other and keep the facts and the opinions. You know, I'm not gonna like make a column that's like, this is fact and this is how I feel, but you know, I try to write it in a way where they're completely separate thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do the same thing where I come out with the fact and.
Okay, you're saying then, yeah.
Hey, I mean, stick to the facts as much as possible and save the opinion for where you post it. I mean, because there's plenty of room to write that there.
By far.
I forget.
So is this just a sausage fest? Do we not have any anonymouses online?
We have before, but I think she's not awake right now.
Yeah, my wife's laying here listening, but she doesn't want to get on. She's
we had a couple. We had a couple the other night. It hasn't been a sausage fest until tonight. So we've been doing pretty good on that.
We've had females.
You know, it's Saturday. You know, they're all out doing their thing, not hanging with us losers.
Me and Rose have a topic show we're planning on doing. You know what I mean? So we do have females that are engaged in the show, most definitely.
Hey, would it be all right if I plugged a couple groups that are pretty good groups down here, Anon groups?
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to start doing, is like to be able to promote both groups and any events that we know about upcoming would be another thing. Like, you know, if you know of any protest rallies, anything going on, plug them, put them out there.
Speaking of which, did we get a guesstimate time at, you know, that the Jody's Federal Reserve protest he's planning? You know, like a guesstimated spring, winter, you know, summer, fall, any kind of guesstimation on that? I know he doesn't have an exact date, but I was, you know, maybe something for us to target.
He said he didn't have a target date, but personally, I would try to do it as early as possible. It's something that we need to do to address, you know?
Yeah, so would I.
I do it early. We want to gather support beforehand so we have a mass turnout. You want to educate for a while. You know, that's the only reason why I want to get the momentum going before we actually do set a date so we don't have 5 people come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to generate some interest in it and then set your date.
Here's in my experience what works the best is if you can get a date that already means something to what you're protesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exponentially more effective.
By far.
Like, that's how we grew up, exposed CPS so hard, so fast, from a couple of cities to all over the world in a couple of months.
For this, I would go the Midsummer's Eve day, the day they do the Bohemian Grove Festival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what date is that?
I don't know about that, man. I was kind of thinking about
end of
going to the
July.
Grove this year.
I don't know. I feel like it should be farther. Because I want to organize some kind of nationwide structure. So we have cells that are already organized that can just come out on that day, you know? I feel like there's a lot of education.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd like to bum rush the Bohemian Grove, but you know what that's going to lead to.
Right?
Oh, well, yeah, that's not going to work. But
Yeah,
there are some pretty rad protests outside the lines, the perimeter. And yeah, I'm definitely thinking about hitting that one up.
Well, some groups that people should check out on our end is Anonymous North Texas, Anonymous Dallas, Texas, Anonymous Resistance Texas, and the Nationwide March Against the Federal Reserve. Those are some real good sources that we go out our way to make sure is as truthful as possible. And please, if you see something wrong, call us out on it. Please do.
If you drop me some links or posts, man, I'm happy to share them all over my group and all over the book, man. I mean, I'm pretty good at sharing posts.
I think you guys already shared my group, actually, because I've seen you guys before. But, well, not my group. It's not my group. It's our group. But me as well. Like, I'll share anything. This is an awesome program. I like this program a lot.
Do you do the Anonymous North Texas radio program? Is that you or is that somebody else?
Oh, that's Switchblade. He does that. He's Anonymous North Texas. And, yeah, it's a really awesome program. And then we got Against the Grain with Russ Perez, and that's another really awesome program. But yeah, that's Anonymous North Texas.
I fuck with that radio show a lot. That's pretty much how you guys got connected with the Anon Resistance thing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if I've actually met you before. That's
I usually am behind the scenes though. Like, it's probably I'm usually behind the scenes, so probably not.
Yeah, you'll have to add me on Facebook, man. I didn't know you were that close to like everybody I know out that way.
Asher, I'm the one who put Asher on to the Anonymous North Texas. So I can introduce them both. And
hell yeah!
Asher does some great work, and he's my brother, and he's been going through some rough times, and I hope everybody holds him down, man, because he's a good man, you know.
Yeah, that's a whole nother barrel of worms there with all that he's going through. Like shit.
So you know what happens. We've all been there one way or another, but no, yeah, he does really good work. The Anonymous North Texas Radio is pretty awesome. And yeah, I'll definitely drop you guys links, and feel free to share whatever you guys want in whatever group, you know, and I'll share it. Tell me, and I'll share it myself because you guys seem pretty listening. I'm glad come on the show.
Well, yeah, we're pretty active in New Orleans too. Like we'll get out on the streets around New Orleans quite a lot. So, Baton Rouge as well. So if that's like a doable area for y'all, like, man, we got to start collaborating if y'all are close to that. I don't know exactly what area you guys are in.
So you guys are based in the Dirty South as well, then, right? You guys are in New Orleans area?
I've got contacts all over the Southeast, like pretty much from North Carolina down all the way to Louisiana.
Yeah, I've got North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and some Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm pretty spread out evenly, like over country. I some East Coast, West Coast, and Florida, and stuff like that.
And of course Florida.
Yeah.
Well, I've been just thinking about, like, with some of our protests, like we were just saying, the Southeast area, to try and consolidate, because I know you've got us here, like me and the Watchmen here in Tampa. We've got with Central Florida, we've got right over here in Orlando. You've got Marilyn Lede of Occupy and Fairhurst of Anonymous. You know what I'm saying? Trying to consolidate, bring our movement, our areas together for a big, a big presentation, you know what I'm saying, for something like this Federal Reserve March or something like that. Bring the entire region together.
Ideas you guys have on that march, like anything, like I really want to make this as big as possible.
Well, yeah, we can do it nationwide. That's the cool thing about it. You know, there's a branch of the Federal Reserve all over the place.
Yeah. I know we have one right here in Atlanta, I believe, a big one.
See, I'd probably go to DC myself. That's become one of my favorite places to hit up for protest as of late.
You know, the Federal Reserve has 12
I just worry about DC because I'm always worried that one of these days they're going to, crack down on us pretty hard. And DC being a whole nother country, as we discussed, you know what I'm saying? It kind of leaves us flapping in the wind.
We're flapping in the wind anyway, brother.
Right, we're flapping in the wind anyway.
It is what it is. You know? But I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
If you sneak attack DC, if they don't see it coming,
they can't prepare. They can't prepare for it.
Man, they were prepared for Disrupt J20, but that shit blew up. Like, I don't think anybody involved in the original planning for that had any idea it was going to get that big.
What was the turnout for it?
I mean, it depends on what you're counting. Because, like, the original Disrupt J20 event was supposed to be a let's show up at what the inauguration is already doing and throw out our black bloc tactics. And that kind of turned into Disrupt J20 being the umbrella for everything that was happening in DC over, the course of the week before and after, which was completely massive by that point. I mean, there was so much involved, like, GDC, IWW involved, anarchist groups. You've got all kind of super far left shit like RevCom and like all kind of shit like that out there. People said it was Soros funded. I didn't get no check. I don't know nobody that got no check. There, if anything, like I made a comment a couple nights ago. Like, you remember how when the first Trump protest popped off, how they were like, they're busting in anti-Trump supporters or anti-Trump protesters. Well, when I showed up to DC, there was like, it was right over by the Washington Monument. There was a bunch of buses and a big-ass Trump truck and then a bunch of people in Trump hats. And I snapped a picture and I posted up and I'm like, oh my God, they're busting in Trump supporters. It's so fake. It's so fake. And people ran with it everywhere. They were like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Both sides are doing it. And I'm sitting here like, dude, this is...
You can find ads in Craigslist and then you got people catching pictures of the...
Well, if you really want to get in on that, man, the ads on Craigslist, most of them trace back to stuff that was like campaign work for the actual Democratic campaign, like actual jobs that if you were to do it at any level anywhere, it would be normal. But they're posting on Craigslist, stop Trump, stop Trump. People take it too far. I saw one place during the Disrupt J20 events that was an ad, a place where you could apply to be a paid protester. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to see what this is about. I'm going to see if I can get a call back. Dude, I promise the application I put into these motherfuckers, if they were looking for people to come in there and do that, they'd have called me back. I'd have gotten a call and they'd have been like, yes, sir, I can pay you $1,500 a day to come in and cause chaos in DC. But it didn't happen. Like, nothing has ever turned up any fruit in this search. We offered, like, back to who's a good media source, the Fifth Column is another good media source.
They sure are.
Justin King got together, a bunch of different people got together and threw in a whole bunch of money. It ended up totaling about $5,000, and we had a bounty out looking for information. Like, dude, I know I shared this fucking bounty like everywhere I could. Like, if you have any legitimate information that can prove Soros is paying ground level protesters to do anarchist shit, come with the proof and you'll get $5,000 in your pocket.
Well,
that money never got claimed.
Now, isn't there proof of that? Didn't his I forgot what organization he runs, but didn't they like straight up say that that's what they were doing?
Well, just like even it's somebody,
I didn't hear that one.
Well, just like somebody who sells drugs, they're going to third and fourth person that shit anyways. You're not going to catch Soros himself or his secretary writing checks. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get passed down through.
Well, the point is they're not
other companies. And
they're
shit.
not paying street level protesters. They have thrown money into some groups. It's not a large amount of money, but like when they were the whole Soros is funding Black Lives Matter, the closest that it came was Soros like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. Soros, one of his organizations, gave money to Acorn. Now, Acorn is not Black Lives Matter, but they show up to a lot of Black Lives Matter protesters. These motherfuckers aren't even black for the most part. It's a lot of, like, grungy, white, street kids. Like, I encountered a group of them from New Orleans, and they're like, I know these people in New Orleans. They're not government agents. They're not government shills. I see them on the streets all the time. Like, they're passionate about a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I guess some of them are in this organized protest group called Acorn. The group as a whole has received money from, what is it, Open Foundation Services that George Soros runs. That doesn't mean that George Soros is telling these people to get in the streets. He gave their organization money
for transportation
almost a decade ago for whatever they needed it for. But the real point is the man tries to appear to be a philanthropist. He throws money all over the place. He probably doesn't even pick 90% of the places his foundation gives money to because it's all for show to make him look good. I guess that's kind of over
We've
with
seen
at
him do
this
some
point.
shady shit. We've caught him doing shady, or I have, in the
yes,
past.
we have caught him doing
money manipulation in the markets.
Oh, for sure.
He was caught trying to hijack the Ukrainian revolution. He did hijack the Ukrainian revolution. He straight up hijacked the Ukrainian revolution. If he tried to do it here, I'm pretty sure he could, but we would fucking know it. This wouldn't be America right now.
The way they do things, they compartmentalize anyways. Like I said, you're not going to catch it coming straight from him. It's going to be through 5 different companies or organizations before it hits the streets. They compartmentalize. That's how they do shit.
That's how they shield themselves.
I'd say $10 a month, but it's been more than that.
No, DDoS.
Shut me down, I know.
Yeah.
Wait, who said DDoS him?
I know. We didn't say nothing
earlier. I got a friend of mine. He's in Arizona, and he was saying that the folks that want to DDoS Netflix. I was like, man, that's crazy. I was just telling my wife.
You know what? This whole, do you guys remember when the dying DNS servers got DDoS attacked and it took like a third of America's internet offline?
Yeah, Mirai botnet. The New World Order hackers, they did it, and then Red.
That was a lie.
They did it. Then Red called.
That was a lie.
Because New World Order hackers, they were retired like 2 years ago.
There was a lot of people that claimed they did that hack. Whoever did that hack is being very, very fucking quiet. And you're never going to hear him. You're never going to hear them bost about that shit online.
Did you see the source code for it? The instructions are written in Russian, dude. Oh,
yeah,
wait.
I know a guy that can handle that. So like Russian's not an obstacle, but point is, like if we organized and just fuck it, smash all the DNS servers until everything's offline.
I've got maps to where all the fiber optics are laid around the world. All the fiber optics are laid. I got maps for that.
But the point is, we take the internet away from the sheeple. The distractions go away.
Nah, I disagree. The internet's the lifeblood of everything at this point. I feel like you shut the internet down, shut down the government.
Okay, so we specifically need to take out Netflix, Angry Birds,
Pokemon Crush,
Pokemon Go, Candy Crush, yeah. You know what Candy Crush needs to be remade into is Brain Crush, because that's all you're doing is just smashing your brain to bits.
I don't play.
Hey, now don't forget Pokemon Go. Now they're making a break for it now. They got zombies walking around everywhere, getting hit by cars and everything.
Dude, it was so bad here in the city that they had to actually put like Pokemon Go shit signs. You can't play Pokemon Go in this fucking place because apparently some of the fucking hot zones were like in like restaurants and shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
You know that front company? That's just to like map the world that they don't have yet.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, funny thing is, when that first came out, me and my buddy are sitting on the front porch smoking a joint, and we're noticing across the street, this church, these people keep walking over with their phones. And then my son comes over, and he starts doing it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, oh, it's Pokemon Go, blah, blah, blah. And me and my buddy look at each other and goes, that's some zombie-like shit. Wouldn't be surprised if we hear something about, like the CIA or something's involved with that. The very next morning, I caught articles on, running through Anonymous about Pokemon Go's run by the CIA. I was like, oh my fucking God, man.
Yeah. Follow the money. The money's very open. It's easy to follow.
What is that?
Yeah, right?
I think somebody's mic is going crazy.
I guess it stopped. I hear silence.
Hey, guys, I gotta get going. I gotta get up really early, but it was real nice to meet my family, man. And I really like the show. I'm gonna be in touch, alright?
Don't be a stranger, man.
Oh, for sure.
The next time you guys do the show.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, big props out there to Louisiana, man.
Oh, we're in Texas. When's the next time?
Oh, you're Texas?
Yeah, we're in Texas.
All right, cool.
So, when's the next time you guys do the show, though?
I don't know. We kind of haven't nailed the schedule down yet.
It's pretty much
it's kind of like, hey, you want to do one?
Last second.
Yeah. Hey, you want to do a show?
I hope to be back on here, man. It's a really cool environment. I like it a lot.
Right on.
Hey.
Well, it's good to have you on, brother.
Glad to have you.
Namaste, brothers. It was good to meet you all. Maybe next time we don't have such a sausage fest.
Right?
Right. Namaste. One love, brother.
Yes, definitely. Later, guys.
Yep.
All right, what are we down to?
1, 2, 3. We got a good bit of people on still.
Yeah, we still got a good group in here, so yeah.
Can anyone hear my mic?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good now. All right, cool. I think I got this straight.
Yeah.
I'll say it makes a difference having a good mic and a good cam. It really does.
Yeah, you're coming through loud and clear.
Hey, I got a nice snowball. Got it for Christmas.
Right.
The wife got it for me. No, Mel got it for me. So, the wife and Mel. But
Agent M.
yeah. Background just sitting there. No.
Next time next time we're going to schedule like an Illuminati discussion. Let me know because I've got. I just talked to him just before the show. That's why I was kind of late getting here. I got ex-con. He's wanting to do the show. That's Tupac's cousin. He's basically picked up where he left off. Second generation outlaw. Some of you guys are familiar with it, I'm sure. He was saying he'd come on be a guest on the show. I think that have a Killuminati representative for the Illuminati discussion would be really great.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Would y'all mind if I invited Steve Grant?
I think that'd be great too. I wouldn't mind getting those two together and a few other people, DJs and stuff we know for an event. You know what I'm saying? Like the Unity concert we had planned for during the whole Oregon thing before that fell apart.
Well, Steve was on earlier, and I mentioned the show to him. His schedule's pretty hectic, but I talk with him on the regular. So,
right, yeah, I talk to ex-con pretty regularly too. That's what I'm saying. We could get him on. I'm sure. I mean, even just for 10 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes, get us some time in and get their opinions. I think would be great.
Yeah. So, as of March 1st, America's Deadly Sin is starting a tour that's going to be down here in Florida. He'll be doing shows all through Florida. That's Christopher Bruce. Just if any of y'all care, I don't know if any of y'all ever listened to him, but
yeah, I have. Well, I have, but
he's going across, I think, across the whole country. He'll be doing shows all over, but one of his first states to stop in is going to be Florida. So,
oh, that's cool. That's cool. I wouldn't mind checking that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be here the second.
So. Anyways,
I'm in and out here a little bit. Does anybody else like Spotty gets quiet and then you hear people, or is it just me?
I think it's you're on Wi-Fi or you're on your cell data.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to find a place to get you some Wi-Fi, bro.
Yeah. I'm running on a shitty connection, that's for sure.
Man.
Yeah, I need to go hop somebody's fucking Wi-Fi.
Where you at these days?
Where's the Cali when you need it?
Where you at these days, Rage?
Me? I'm in Pasco now, man.
Pasco?
Yeah.
Man, I barely go there. I barely go there to the CPS court.
I had to bounce out of the hill. You know all the shit I was going through over there. Fucking, I had to get out of there.
Yep.
I didn't want to deal with no more of that shit.
So,
they arrested me twice for one pot charge, man. I think that's enough enough reason for me to get the fuck out of there.
That's super illegal.
Yeah. That's how I missed the Million Mass March. They arrested me for failure to appear on the same freaking pot charge that I'd already fucking taken care of, and it was such a little tiny piece, wasn't even a whole bowl pack, man.
You're like, oh, that's a felony. You're like, what?
Right?
I can't even get high on this shit.
Hillsborough picked me up just for filming the sheriff's office, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Bunch of clowns.
Well, Florida is the #1 state in the country for felony convictions. Also has a 97% failure rate on probation.
Now, Texas is pretty bad, man. I mean, I did 5 years in prison over there, 13 years total paper over there, counting prison and 8 years deferred. And yeah, they're no joke over there, man.
Well, there's a topic we could cover is the second largest industrial complex, which is now the prison industrial complex, right behind the military one.
Yeah, I mean, it's underreported, but America has the most incarcerated citizens than any other country in the world.
Well, we have more prisons than any other country in the world. I mean,
prisons are business, man.
I was talking about this last week or yesterday, our last show. That even Norway had they have a prison population that's declining so fast that they don't even know what to do with their their prisons and stuff because they're so empty.
Yeah, empty prisons and all that.
They've been big. If you've ever been to prison, you know that it's really hard to get into like rehabs. It's hard to get into fucking anything. You have to fit XYZ just to even fucking get into these specialized programs. But what Norway's been big on is rehabilitation, intensive psychotherapy, and teaching you a fucking trade that you can get good at, so that when you get out of prison,
You have all this fucking therapy that got you into this like really bad situation where you did something really bad to get you there. You know, that's a real fucking solution, you know? But
yeah, well, you can do something more than flop whoppers when you get out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, but the problem is that, you know, me being incarcerated a lot of times is that I've met guys that have been incarcerated for the most bullshit things. Like, you know, just like, looks like, are you really in fucking, like, I knew this one guy that was, he was in jail for, God, fucking 2 months for driving on a suspended license. And I'm like, is that even a real fucking crime? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, that little tiny piece of pot I went to jail twice for, did 30 days and paid $700 for that little tiny piece of pot.
I knew this one guy that went to jail for a fucking text message because he texted, or his girlfriend asked him where the keys were for an apartment, and they had a restraining order, and he texted under the mat, and that was a violation. Guy was doing fucking a month on that. You know?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's our fucking court system.
Everything is illegal.
Violated his probation, had to go to prison for a leash law on his dog. He didn't have a leash for his dog. They violated his probation. He had to go to prison.
Wow.
It's almost as though the court system, I don't think it ever has, you know, to be honest with you. I don't think the court system has ever been in favor of the citizens. You know, I mean, you're judged by, you know, it's either you duke it out with the DA and the judge, or you fucking get judged by your peers. Either way, it's just a lose-lose situation. You know what I mean?
I know here in Florida, the way they've got it set up is you're screwed. You're supposed to get a bond that you can afford, meaning if you got $100 in your pocket, that's what your bond's supposed to be. Here they make your bond so astronomical that there's no way in hell you're getting out. Now, if you can't afford that bond, of course you can't afford an attorney. So when you go in and you get your free attorney, you know, I can't afford one, the first thing the public defender's office does is waive your right to a fast and speedy trial, which is a speedy trial within 90 days. So then basically you can't bond out. You're stuck sitting there, and there's people that will sit in jail for 2 to 3 years waiting to go to trial. People get sick of it. They sign the plea bargain just to get the fuck over with, man.
Oh yeah, that's what I did in this last case. I was just sick and tired of fucking going to court over this false fucking charge, you know. And then my lawyer was like, I don't know if we can win this one. I don't know, and I just fucking signed the deal. I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to go to court anymore. Fuck it, just fucking do whatever you guys are gonna do. You know?
Yeah, especially if you're running with a public pretender and you ain't got a real attorney. You know what I mean? You're kind of screwed.
Pretender.
Yeah, public pretender.
Oh yeah. My first fucking charge. My first fucking charge, right? You know, I'm like 21, and you know what they caught me on was a lot. Thank God I hired a real attorney. And then, you know, the first thing was is I got a public defender, and they were going to give me 13 years, and I got a real attorney, and I got 2 years. You know. I was just like, no. And my real attorney that, you know, my family had forked out for me, and some of the money I had on myself, you know, he was just spitting out that half the shit that they were trying to land me on was fucking bullshit.
Oh, that's like I had a girlfriend one time. She was driving us home from a bunch of us home from a bachelor party. She had had one drink like 5-6 hours earlier. She blew under the legal limit. She was legal to drive. They still arrested her. She had a public pretender. They were trying to give her a wet and reckless, which basically she kept her license but had to do all the other DUI shit. And I kept arguing no, because I went with her to the office. No, she's legal. This should be thrown out. And the public defender wasn't going for it. Said, well, you're going to have to get another attorney. As soon as her father got her attorney, the attorney didn't even have to show up in court. As soon as they saw it was a street attorney, they dropped the charges.
It's almost as though
it's
almost as though you have to actually pay somebody some serious money to get you out of the legal system. And it always seems like, you know, and that was another thing, you know, the Watchman probably even knows about, is that, you know, like when you go to court, the judge is acting as banker, not, you know what I mean? It always ends up in a financial disposition where you go to jail and you come out, you're still paying fucking money.
I'm fond of saying that you are guilty unless you can afford to be innocent.
Yeah, I mean, like
you goddamn right about that shit, man.
Yeah. It's called Napoleonic law. You know the way the laws are written are completely different than the way they're enforced. You know, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but but it's called Napoleonic law. You're guilty until proven innocent, and that's exactly what is being enforced.
Proven innocent unless you can afford an attorney.
Did you know that getting pulled over by a cop and a cop asking you, you know, it's actually technically not it's not legit for a cop to search your car without like proper authorization for a search warrant.
Yeah, they're supposed to. Well, some states like Pennsylvania passed a law where they can do it now.
Yeah, but even a drug dog like barking and shit, that's still not enough for them to have a search warrant on you.
Well, I've been in the dog training industry my whole life. My mother did it, and these cops are such bullshit. The dog can sit there and wag its tail, sneeze, whatever the dog does is a signal. Oh, the dog signaled. You know what I'm saying? Got to search the vehicle. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? The dog could fart and it'd be like, oh, it's signaled. We got to search the vehicle.
You should just be like me. You should just be like me. You know, when I get pulled over and they ask you, "Are there any drugs and guns in the car?" and you just respond, just be an asshole. You know, you don't got anything on you. Just make their day that much harder. Just tell them, "Yeah, I got lots of shit in the car." You know,
and you can't search it, right? The funniest thing I ever saw, and I caught it on YouTube, this dude gets pulled over in a van, and, a cop goes and grabs his ID, and as he's going to walk back to his cop car, you see on the dash cam, the dude took his whatever his drugs were, and tied it to this fucking balloon, helium balloon, and lit it up in the fucking air, and lit it fucking float away. That
shit's legendary.
That was funny as hell. I started thinking, too, maybe I should carry a helium balloon around with me.
Yeah, there's the dope. There's the dope.
Yeah, there you go. Go get it. That was fucking hilarious, man. I think the cop even pulled his gun and was like going to go to try and shoot the balloon down at one point, too.
No, I'm pretty sure he fired some shots off at that balloon.
Did he? Did he fire? Yeah, did he fire?
Yeah, he did.
That's fucking crazy. Cop's gonna go out there and shoots a balloon over a little bit of weed, you know what I'm saying? Start popping off rounds in public and shit for a little bit of pot on the balloon.
Oh, what a fucking jackass. But hey, it works. The best you can get at that point is like tampering with evidence.
And then they'd still have to prove it. What did he tie to the balloon? You'd have to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Again, but you're guilty unless you can afford to be innocent.
Hey, I could have just set a balloon off out my window just to troll the cop.
Yep.
Right?
Prove there was dope on there.
Prove it, right?
Yeah, and that was another thing.
But at that,
oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because I used to work. I used to work in the drug and alcohol. The drug and alcohol for the rehabilitation end of helping out people. Trying to get their lives back together. Me and some of the other. I'm not a psychologist, but our leading psychologist. The facility was telling us. That. It's. I don't understand, and he didn't understand it either. But he kind of like reinforced what I was saying. Is that how? Okay, the DSM-5 declares drug addiction as an illness, right? Okay, so people are fucking using drugs and they have a mental illness and they can't fucking stop it. The problem is it's a fucking crime to use these drugs, right? Okay, so the war on drugs is a completely farce. Like what are we up against? You're technically telling people that it's illegal to put something in their fucking body, and we're also dealing with the mental illness, right? Where the people, they can't stop using the fucking drugs. I mean, a lot of them are really fucking addictive. But it's like the legal system doesn't have a real fucking solution. Their best bet is to lock you up, throw away the drugs. Okay, you throw away the drugs, a crackhead is gonna post bail and smoke crack again and do the same goddamn shit he did before,
and pick up more charges.
Yeah,
the drug war is how they built industrial prison complex. They did it on purpose. They bring the drugs in, they sell them to you, then they make money, and then they make money on the ass end by locking you up for it. It's a game. It's how they built the prison industrial complex.
Nobody in Chicago owns a poppy field.
Yeah, exactly.
Barbara Bush runs or owns Keefe Commissary, which provides most of the commissary for
Keefe Commissary. Man, we should hit them motherfuckers where it hurts.
Yeah,
and heroin, heroin in Chicago has
people for years.
Or Fort Howard, the Fort Howard toilet paper. What is it? Bob Barker Industries.
Yep.
They provide all the toilet paper, soap, shampoo, and everything.
Uniforms, even,
to county jails.
Texas makes
police
all their
station holding.
Yep. Texas even makes their own soap.
you get that fucking grade D bologna sandwich. Like, come on, dude, where's all that money going to? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And now here in Florida, by the day, $3 a day to be locked up here in county jail. $3 a day.
They said it costs $10,000 like a month to fucking house like an inmate, and I'm like, okay, so there's like how many people in this jail, and where is the money going to? Because you get into that cell, it's like I don't see nobody's cleaned this cell in like 6 months, you know.
Well, I know it's such bullshit, too, because I was head cook in the kitchen at one point, and the guard that ran the kitchen was hooking us up. You know, he was bringing London broil and snow crab legs and shit like that for the kitchen crew. And it was great. But then I happened to be standing outside the office when he got his ass reamed because his superior came in and was yelling at him because they were now up to 75 cents a day for all 3 meals per inmate. And that was too high. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Seriously?
So I mean, you know, America really needs to rethink incarceration, and I'm not fucking joking about it. It's like as much money as they're spending putting people in jail, and you know, their solution was, okay, there was this company called Westgate or Westcourt, and they got their contract from the company I was working with, right? So and Westcare or whatever the fuck they're called, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so having a rehab within a prison. Okay, now we're already dealing with one issue there. Okay, there's a waiting time to get in there. The guys aren't hooked on fucking drugs anymore. Okay, but they haven't been detoxed properly by the time they got there, if they even got the fucking detox. It's not a real fucking solution. What they need to do is, you know, I mean, I don't know if we need, you know, if this is even possible. You know, the money that is being spent on incarceration should probably be spent on rehabilitation, or not even fucking just get rid of all the fucking drug laws. I'm serious, dude. Like, none of it fucking
you're right
makes
on
sense.
that one. You're right on that one, because if you get rid of all the drug laws, drugs are just not.
That for me personally, I don't think that it should be against the law for you to put something in your body. Now, the help should be offered, but here's a duality of that, right? If you ever look up, like, you know, your friends hooked on fucking like drugs and shit, like, have you seen the prices of how expensive it even is to get into these facilities? Like, 10, 20,
it's astronomical.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Billy's hooked on fucking alcohol, but the family has to fork over fucking $30,000 for him to get some help. And then, like, here's the thing: is most of these places only have a 5% success rate, which is like really fucking good. That's a really good number, because when you're dealing with addiction, it's like they're always on the fence. They don't know if they really want to stop. You're dealing with an addiction that makes them feel really good.
Half the time their solution is to get them on another drug, some pharmaceutical. Half the time that's their solution, like methadone to get somebody off of opioids. You know what I mean? It's just swapping the drugs out. You know what I mean? It's a fucking vicious circle.
And the methadone's actually worse for your body, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen people get off of methadone? They get that weird wiggles and they oh my god.
Yeah. Did you say have we ever seen someone get off of methadone?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh no, never, ever, never, horrible. Never. People don't get off of methadone.
I've seen them withdraw, but not get off. I just saw them do the fish flop on the ground and shit. Go through seizures and whatnot.
I've gone through
methadone, Suboxone, Subutex doesn't help. We talked about that the other night. It doesn't help. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't get anyone off drugs. It's almost the exact same thing they're doing anyway.
Yeah. Well, I actually know people out here on the streets that have figured out how to shoot Suboxone. They're actually shooting it out here on the streets, shooting Suboxone here in Florida. So I mean, like I said, what did you accomplish? You just switched them from one drug to another.
That's not a
man. Y'all motherfuckers in Florida crazy.
Yeah, they are. I've only been here. Yeah, they are.
Today, a man in Florida, hold up, this gonna be good.
Right?
He shot up his dose.
Good.
Oh god.
Well, yeah, they are crazy down here. I mean, I even hear about people pushing meth. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It started with ecstasy beans called pushing it. It's where they shove it in their ass, man. I mean, and you know what I'm saying? They do get a little crazy down here, these people.
Well, I mean, y'all are famous for eating each other's faces off and shit, so
right.
What do you expect?
Right, that flock of shit in Miami, that freaked me out, man.
Oh, did I tell you about that psychosis shit that I think I was talking about the other show when I was like doing that shit like crazy? Oh my god. Oh god, the psychosis on that shit was horrible.
See, I never done that like that. Or I think that might have been bath salts. A dude was eating dude's face off.
Yeah.
Man, if you ever get on YouTube and you search the bath salts and you see some of these people on that shit, it's like, oh my God. It actually got me wondering if that was created by the CIA like LSD was and then released on the streets just to beta test that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. If you see the darknet market, you can see where it's coming from. It's it's the same thing as the meth world. It's people making in their backyards.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I knew people who make LSD too, but the original formula got released by the CIA. You know what I mean? But I know people back in the day who used to make LSD.
It was Dr. John Paul Pierre, and anybody who knows, that's kind of what I was doing with in my first case. I read a lot of his books, and he got in trouble not too long ago with the Patriot Act. And the CMEA Act. He essentially wrote a book on how to make drugs back in the early 80s while he was in a federal penitentiary.
Oh shit!
And he got busted with And this guy is a biochemist. You can find him under. I'm not going to put it out there, but let's just say he has a writer name, and he's very well known in the underground community. And when the Patriot Act came out. His publisher had stopped publishing his books because apparently it was illegal to produce this kind of stuff. But
well, I know it's illegal to profit. Like let's say Manson, if he wrote a book about his crimes, he can write the book and have it published, but it's illegal for him to make money off of it. I know that is illegal. Like if you commit a crime and you write a book on it, you can have it published and distributed. And I don't know where, whoever's getting the money, but you cannot make money off of it.
Well, I don't know. His publisher was telling him that, and he was posting it on some of the underground groups I was at, is that they were saying that, because of the Patriot Act, it was illegal to tell anybody how to make a drug, a bomb, or a weapon or something. At least that's what he was saying. And this is back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Shit, what should I do with both those copies of the 2 copies of the Anarchist Cookbook I got?
That's
you should copy them and give them to everyone you know.
I've got both of them on PDF.
I mean, if you really want to,
the Jolly Roger Cook, some of their concoctions on there are like, dude, that's so fucking dangerous.
Yeah. If you really want to do something good, check out Alexander Shulgin's books, man.
Oh, Pickle. I read Pickle, Tickle, and isoquinols. Yeah, Dr. Alexander Shulgin was the they call him the father of MDMA. He didn't invent it. Yeah, he was. It was actually invented by a German scientist in 1913. But actually, here's the funny thing about that book is that every single phenethylamine and tryptamine that he had invented, he did it, and him and his wife were doing it. And then not only did they do it, they did repeated experiments.
Well, they had parties. They'd invite couples over, dose them out as they come in the door, and hand them a tablet and paper, and say, "Hey, just write down, how it makes you feel." So as you're going through the book, it has like 300 recipes, and it says, "Well, this one here gives you, better visuals. This one here stimulated the man more. This one here stimulated the female more." I mean, his books are phenomenal, dude. Yeah, for real, man. The government raided him every year, and they never arrested him because he's a fucking genius, dude.
Well, half of the chemicals that he was making were following. There was no laws, there was no laws for this shit. And this is where the RC market. There was huge back in 2004. There was called Operation Web Trip, where these RCs were just coming out from domestic vendors. And there weren't any laws, and now they're starting to hit the RC markets where all of these isomers and salts are starting to be illegal.
Right.
Yeah. They're starting to crack down on all that shit.
Well, I mean, I know they're using in some countries right now they're using MDMA, ecstasy for marriage counsel therapy.
Oh, that's MAPS.
It's being researched right now.
Yeah, that's MAPS. MAPS has been doing psychedelic research for I think was it 20 years now? They do LSD
it's been
and
doing
MDMA.
for a while.
Yeah.
And I hear it's pretty successful. You know what I mean? As far as like, you know, patching up marriages and shit like that, they've had a decent success rate with it.
Well, psychedelics, I've always been big on it. There is some sort of psychological benefit to it. I've always been big on it, you know.
Yeah, I was a big fan too.
Well, you know, like ibogaine. Ibogaine was, you know, these doctors were researching the effects of ibogaine on heroin addicts on withdrawing from it, and you trip out for like 24 to 32 hours, and it does something to the brain where you don't feel the withdrawals.
Yeah.
You just
hey guys,
out.
I'm gonna jump off, man. It's been real.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right, peace out, Watchman.
Yeah.
All right, what are we down to now, guys? Let's get a count.
Okay, all right. So we just got a message. We got a message said that why are we not talking about the real main issues of Standing Rock?
Honestly, I would like to have, when I do that, because it's such a touchy situation, and you know, with the tribes and everything, because I was involved with the startup of the whole Opno Dapple. We get so much information coming out of here to try and, you know, sift through what is real and what's bullshit. I kind of don't feel confident talking about it unless I have somebody, you know, on the panel that has or is dealing directly with it. You know what I mean? Where I feel like I'm getting real information out of what's coming out of there.
Don't we have a guy? Where's our guy that's there right now? Where is he?
I am not sure.
He was telling me yesterday that the feds were on the road and they were stopping a shipment of supplies that were coming in.
Right. Yeah. I remember that topic. I mean, I have a friend. He's actually in Jason Hops on Red Stick. He was there, but he's not there anymore. So he doesn't even feel real comfortable talking about it because he doesn't have updated information. And just like I said, there's so much shit coming out of there. You know, I don't want to be talking about something when, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on out there for real. You know what I'm saying? The truth.
Yeah, I don't either. But you know, I support them. You know, for staying
definitely,
out there.
100% support it. 100% support it, but that's the same reason why I don't want to talk about it without knowing what I'm talking about, because situations need help out there. That, you know what I mean. I don't want to be throwing shit out there that is might hurt them. You know what I'm. People a false impression of what's happening out there. You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I don't want to guesstimate on it.
It would better come from the source. Maybe we're gonna have to wait till our guy can get back on. You know.
Yeah. I would feel better that way. I really would.
What are some of the viewers' comments? Let's get to that.
Let's get to that.
Can anybody see them? I'm on a mobile device.
Let me see if I can get my Kindle up and see if I can get some to check out some of the comments. We don't have anybody in the chat room who might be able to check it. Is Loki out there or anything?
Let me see. I don't even know.
Somebody that's watching the stream for us.
Hello?
Who do we got out there? No, it doesn't look like.
I can't see them here.
Rose, are you still out there? She was on last 24 minutes ago. I thought maybe she could catch the stream for us.
Okay, I can see it now.
All right.
You can see it?
What are some people saying?
One person, Hashi Jash, said, what operations are enacted at the moment in terms of Anonymous making a change for the good?
Geez. Well, OpSafe Winter runs all winter long, and that's obviously we've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
That, like I said, that runs all winter long.
Oh, well, I got a comment the other day, and I was
other ops are being running out.
Some guys,
I know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, some guy, he said, "You are not the real Anonymous." I was like, so who do you think Anonymous is? It was just like some,
right?
Like 4 guys in a room, just like with computers and laptops.
Yeah, yeah, all sitting in a warehouse somewhere or something.
Hijacking the computer.
Let me see if I can get to the thing there. A comment thread. Yeah, because we do need to get something on that too. Where we have somebody that monitors the thread for us.
We did,
so
but
that we can do this.
We didn't know if we were really gonna, everything. Like it always says, we just throw it together at the last second.
Right? Yeah, last minute. Hey, you want to do a show? Yeah.
Me freaking out, like, oh god, do I have to do the stream?
I think you did all right though, bro. I did when you did the stream. I think you did all right. I don't think we had,
no,
a
I
whole lot of
didn't
trouble.
do the stream. I was just running those test streams just in case I had to do backup.
Right.
Angel Smith.
Well, I mean, did you?
Go ahead. I was just saying.
What did she want?
Angel Smith brought up "Op Not Forgotten." I'm not familiar with that one.
I'm not either.
Yeah, that's a vet op, and I do believe it might even encompass fellow Anons that are locked up.
Oh, okay.
I have to check that out. I'm not real familiar with that op particular either. Probably should have her holler. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for veterans operation.
Let me look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the same time.
Oh man,
there's so many ops out there. Let me see. Really? Yes, that's what I meant. You guys finding anything?
Yeah, no, that's all I've seen.
Oh, because I'm spelling it wrong. God damn it.
He also asked, has the CIA or NSA infiltrated any of the top individuals?
Okay. So I kind of got a backstrap on that story. All right. So Vice had a special not too long ago on Anonymous.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't know who the fuck they got on there. I don't know. I all I gotta say is I don't know. Maybe you guys can fill them in on that. You guys familiar with that?
I've seen you mean the one on Viceland TV?
Yeah, Viceland.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. Which person are you talking about? Because they had quite a few people on there.
They were saying about the division was caused because of that one. Remember that one group that had seized all of those the 60,000 Twitter accounts?
I'm trying to remember that show. Talking about the ones where they were talking about the Op ISIS.
I think so. I didn't even watch the whole episode because I don't have TV. I can only get clips of what's actually going out there. But I remember just like seeing like bits and pieces of like, who are these people? Where like, and you got to think about it. It's like, isn't it? Viceland is it's like liberal owned media, right? It's corporate, right?
Well, I mean, they started out small. They were originally just an online kind of podcast, really, in a way, and then they grew, and now they've got their own syndicated TV channel on cable. But I mean, some of that kind of does, some of their things does lean in that direction. But and Viceland's also Motherboard, motherboard.com. That's also the Viceland, but and some of their stuff is legit, But yeah, they got that TV show Cyber War, and that's like an anonymous special.
Like I said, I plugged out a while ago, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So what else is going? What else does anybody else want to know?
Is Flat Earth really an issue at all?
What?
Is Flat Earth really an issue at all?
I hope not.
I've actually been in some comment threads where some people take that very seriously. Quite passionate about it, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen pictures of the Earth. It's a sphere.
But it's all a lie. It's NASA lies, you know. What?
Oh my god.
I think some people think that the movie The Matrix is like literal. We're seriously in cocoons being harvested.
Right, yeah, they take our comments about, breaking the Matrix or whatnot, they take it a little literal.
Right.
Yeah, because I have a group called Anons Break the Matrix, and I've had a couple people in there that do take the whole Matrix thing literally. I swear they're probably running around in black trench coats with, black sunglasses all night long.
Yeah, and it's like Alex Mulder Fox said, there are a huge number of Anons going flat Earth.
Really? Oh yeah. I know a few, but I don't know. They're good people, but it's every once in a while, you start talking and you start talking and you start talking, and then they pull out the flat Earth shit, and you're like, oh, okay, all right,
okay,
all right. You can believe what you want.
I'm pretty open-minded, and I tend to not shut any possibilities out. When people get on the subjects of aliens and demons and stuff like that, I don't shut anything out because, one thing I do know for sure is that we don't know shit. You know what I mean? But the whole flat Earth topic does kind of get me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always say, I always keep an open mind to everything, but sometimes if you open your mind too much, your brain will fall out.
Yeah, right. Any flat earthers out there, please don't take it personal. I'm not trying to knock you or anything. It's just, some things even for me are hard to say it's possible. Don't you think all the water would have ran off by now?
Well, one comment is, what's up with the hole in the North Pole?
Yeah.
What? The hole in the what?
The North and South Pole. The hollow Earth theory.
That's about the Middle Earth theory. Yes.
The Nazi theory, man.
I don't believe in it. I'm sorry. I've seen satellite images from the North Pole and the South Pole. They're solid. Now, what they did I think I did see something on this, is that there might be possible structures on the South Pole.
Yeah, that's recently come up new. Yeah. That's new stuff. Yeah. I will say again that the hollow Earth theory is possible, because if you look at, let's say the forming of the Earth when it was still all molten rock and spinning, if you take even a ball of water and you spin it in space, it creates a hollow center. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a ball of water. So if the Earth was molten rock, it would have done it then too. But like you said, there's such a lack. Other than some far out there Admiral Byrd exploration stories, there really isn't a whole lot to support the whole hollow Earth theory.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Ron Perkins said something about the new... Have you guys heard about the new John Podesta leaked audio?
No.
No. It was a video, actually, that you only hear John Podesta's voice, and, you can hear them matching, he yelled at a camera guy, "Get out of here." And they were matching it to the voice, and it was it sounds like John Podesta, and you can't really see anything. It's very blurry. But it's a camera of him yelling at a child, and he's yelling, "You think you're hot shit," and then it sounds like he's beating the child, and he's like, "You're gonna call me daddy," and all this weird shit. But they literally played it next to known audio of John Podesta, and it sounds like him, but you can make anything sound like it.
You know, they better be careful on that island because I have heard, you know, rumors of people talking, you know, and amongst even like vets and stuff like that of paying a little visit to that island. They might want to be a little careful down there.
Yeah.
Because that's some sick shit, and there's a whole, you know what I'm saying? There's very few people on the planet who are going to find that kind of behavior acceptable and just blow that off.
Yeah.
What did you guys? What I remember that spirit cooking shit. Like, what was that shit all about?
The Abramovich chick.
Yeah, she's a little out there, isn't she? Using painting pictures with blood and shit.
Yeah, but she's been really well known in that in Washington D.C. for a long time. Like she's been really well known for her spirit cookings, which was like coagulated blood mixed with semen, and blood from the left hand, and even though it's weird, they showed you've seen that picture of John Podesta holding his hands up with like the number 11
and a fish.
Yeah, and you can see where his hand is cut in that same spot where she speaks about spirit cooking.
See, that's what makes that a whole new level of sickness. I mean, we got pedo hunters running through Anon like crazy, so we, you know, pretty much we all hate, you know, pedophiles, and we understand that that's a sick fucking thing. But this is like a whole new level of twisted, satanic pedophile.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
shit,
it's very
man.
occult-like. Yeah, spirit cooking.
Yeah.
It sounds very occult-like.
It's the same, you know, Illuminati ritualistic occult shit we've been talking about.
Exactly.
20, 30 years. Because I'm 40. I'm getting ready to turn 40. So, you know, this shit's 20, 30 years we've all been talking about this shit.
Yeah, I'm almost 47, and it's been going on for as long as I can remember.
Do you guys ever run into those, you know, those guys are on I've ran into a few. You know, they call themselves the Illuminati, and then you find out they're in Uganda or wherever they say they're at, and then they want you. I've even fucking played around with these guys, be like, oh yeah. I totally want to fucking join, just see how far the conversation goes, right?
Oh, and they give you like a list of fucked up shit you're supposed to get.
No, and they always want, in the end of the conversation, every one of those motherfuckers, they want fucking money.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm like, really, dude?
Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? You join the Illuminati, sell your soul, get money. It's not, you know, you don't have to pay to do it. Isn't that the way that works?
I don't know, dude. They like this one guy, like this one of these guys was really, really, really bad, and I caught him, and he put on his profile that he had like the country code on his fucking on his profile, and it was linked to Nigeria, and I was like, oh yeah, this is totally legit. This is totally fucking legit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They are online. I've actually trolled some of the Rockefeller families and stuff like that on Facebook. I get a little bold sometimes, but yeah, like I said, they don't ask for money. It's supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to get fame and fortune and riches for selling your soul, not. You know what I mean?
I caught these fuckers. You usually find them trolling around on black metal groups and in really, really obscure places, and then you know, you'll see one or two guys like saying, "Oh yeah, I want to join the Illuminati."
You know, I will say this: when I do troll, when I was trolling like the Rockefellers and stuff like this, they are pretty open about their religious practices and beliefs. They are. It's not like they're secretive about it. They're pretty open about that shit.
Yeah.
Which shocked me. I figured they would be all hush-hush, pretending to be Christian or whatever, but they really kind of, you know, their memes are occulted, you know, satanic symbolism. Their discussions on their comment threads are, you know, I was kind of shocked to find it that they were that open about it.
We're being told we're drifting and stick with the subject. Here's the subject, though. What about the WikiLeaks, like cryptic messages about Vault 7 and
I was reading about that today.
Yeah, and the picture
about that today.
Like they're hinting at 9/11.
As a matter of fact, I got a PDF about that shit today, I think. The FBI and the whole Vault 7 thing and all that. I think I got... Let me see if I can find a share link to the chat room with it if I can.
And supposedly, Julian Assange is going to be live streaming at something coming up, so we may get a possible proof of life.
Yeah, we still haven't got a proof of life for him. I'm sorry, that phone call still
right.
That wasn't enough for me. Anybody can sound, you can get anybody on a phone and say it's Julian Assange. It sounds just like,
Yeah, Angel Smithson said Wiki has been hinting about Vault 7 for weeks. Yeah, see, I heard it about a week ago.
Arthur would be the guy to talk about all that kind of stuff. He has been watching that like a hawk.
Yeah, Angel said February 19th, Assange on live stream.
Nice.
You said February 19th?
Yeah, I guess that's
tomorrow.
Today-ish. It's already tomorrow.
What time zone?
I don't know. Hey, Angel, do you know any information on that more? She said today. Angel, do you know like what live stream where?
Is it?
She said it's in New Zealand. I don't know. I'll look into it and I'll try and get that. I would love for some sort of like CIA insider that fucking got sick of some shit or something and had dirt on 9/11, man. That'd be enough to shock the sheep's eyes open.
His phone's dead. I think it's only me and you.
It's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Really? It's just me, you, and Truth Seeker. We are having some technical difficulties. What are some other viewers saying?
Alan Slomchinsky said 9/11 is a dead issue.
I mean, is it? I mean,
I don't think it'll ever be a dead issue. Never.
I don't think so either. I mean, it just proves that, there's been a bunch of false flag, operations, even Gulf of Tonkin, the precursors to, it wasn't a false flag, but there was a lot of information that we knew about Pearl Harbor before it actually happened.
Right.
I don't think it's ever really going to be a dead issue until people realize that, I'm getting another text message. This is a repeating pattern. This is not something that's going to go away. I mean, if they do this, 9/11, Gulf of Tonkin, Pearl Harbor, shit like this is going to happen. And this is what I'm saying is that, the military-industrial complex, it's not something that's going to go away. If it's not going to be 9/11, who knows what the fuck is going to happen in the future? I mean.
I just shared that Vault 7 PDF to the chat room. Oddly enough, it would not let me share it to the page. I was trying to share it to the page for our listeners to check out, but it would not let me do that. But I did share it to the chat room. The link to it.
Angel just said, no more secrets, no more lies. NZ meaning New Zealand, 7:30 p.m. Assange live stream.
No more secrets, no more lies, huh? What are you talking about, Widow?
Oh wow, this is a long file.
Yeah, it is. It is a pretty long file. but I do know. Matter of fact, I haven't even read through all of it yet. I got it shortly before the show started, and I just kind of breezed through it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's got links back to 4chan.
Yeah. Like I said, oddly enough, it would not let me share to the page.
Oh, that is
because I was going to leave it.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, because I was going to leave it for our listeners to just check out themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it would not let me do it.
To me, when it comes to 9/11, though, Building 7 is key. You know, Building 7 fell just like Building 2, even though no plane ever touched it.
Yeah, nothing ever touched it, and it still fell. And the BBC reporter is reading her script before it ever even fell.
Right.
Oh yeah. They said that the timestamps on the videos were proof enough, right?
Yep, exactly. Well, she's talking about how it fell, describing the falling and all that. And meanwhile, they screwed up in the shot. Building 7 is right behind her, still standing.
Angel Smith said, "Share to me, please, Rage."
All right, yeah, tell her I'll share it to her PM.
All right.
Oh, I see it. Wait, no, is that it?
It's in our chat room. The link is.
No, you shared something. It's just a link to Pastebin.
Yeah, it's a Pastebin. I had it. I turned it into a PDF and stored it in my phone, and it wouldn't let me share that way. So I had to go back to the original post it was sent to me on and share it to. It still wouldn't let me share it to the page. I turned around and shared it to our chat room.
Yeah, you know, and this is something I was listening on the radio. This is something us Anons have known is that Facebook constantly flags shit so you can't post it anywhere.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. And this is a perfect example. Even converted to a PDF and coming out of my own phone, it wouldn't let me share to the page or anything Facebook.
Do you remember that guy? Our guy in Standing Rock. I was, I was watching him post some stuff, and even they were blocking some of his images on his own page.
Yeah. Alan Slomchinsky said the plane was a holographic image. What do you guys? All
right.
I know that the Building 2, when the plane hit, even you can go back to like CNN or any of those news channels that were covering that day and watch like the day over, unedited. Like even in that video, you can see like plane 2 coming up, and just before it's about to hit, like the wing disappears behind a building that's like blocks away and should have never been able to go behind that building. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you'll have to check that video out. It's easy to find. A 9/11 wing disappears, on YouTube.
Did you ever listen to Joe Rogan talk about like how there was something similar that they were that he was talking about was how they were planning on flying drones over Cuba and trying to instigate a conflict for us to go to war with Cuba.
Yeah, they were trying to get Cuba to shoot down planes or make it look like Cuba shot down planes.
Yep.
To get us to go to war with them during the Iran-Contra scandal just before that broke.
Something like that.
Yeah. But and it was actually JFK who stopped all that from happening. He refused to sign to allow it.
All right, Widow, I sent that to your PM. But
yeah, no, like when it goes back to like, just for one, just me being on the show, about about the Federal Reserve. You know, I think a lot of shit kind of all stems directly from the root of the Federal Reserve, you know, because like our government, you know, or the Federal Reserve isn't beholden to anyone in our government. So they can't be audited. You know, Wall Street runs because of the Federal Reserve. You know, we keep oil dependency because of the petrodollar recycling system. I don't know if you guys know what the petrodollar is.
Yeah, it's yeah, you do.
You know, that feeds right into it because of, you know, all oil in the world can only be bought by U.S. dollars, so that helps.
U.S. dollars. Yeah, I remember Saddam Hussein wanted to. He didn't want to use the dollar. He wanted to go towards the euro, right?
Yeah, he started selling his oil for euros in the fall of 2000, and it was 2001 when 9/11 happened. You know.
And then Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah,
Gaddafi was actually going to go to the gold dinar, and that's when they got him.
Yeah, so that's where, you know, I feel like a lot of focus should be on, you know, not just the Federal Reserve, but at least here in this country, we go directly after the Federal Reserve and help other people in other countries and stuff go after the IMF and the World Bank, which is what props them up. But it's all the same entity, the same at the top, you know.
Well, it's the shadowy people pulling the strings, and the funny thing is, you can't say shit because they have everybody by the balls, you know, monetarily.
Right. But all it takes is us ending it, you know, and putting the power back over to the U.S. government to strike coin. You know, that's, you know, the freaking Constitution specifically says only the government can. You know, and the Federal Reserve's a private company. All we got to do is just turn it back over to our government to make our own money, and there you go. All the interest is gone, and that's
there goes the IRS as well.
Right, there goes the IRS. No more federal taxes. You know, because like we were saying earlier, the IRS and federal taxes don't go to our government. Our taxes on the federal side, which takes most of our money out of our checks, you know, that doesn't go to roads, that doesn't go to anything, that doesn't go to your schools. That goes straight to the Federal Reserve. The IRS is a subsidiary, basically, of the Federal Reserve. It was their, you know, guarantee on the return on their investment, basically. So I feel that's why, you know, when Alvin came together to talk about it, and let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get this started and push it. You know.
Well, I mean, yeah, that would be a really good start, you know, doing a massive protest on the Federal Reserve. I'm not sure, you know, I honestly think educating people is still a great idea about doing it, but, you know, me, I'm ready to, like, you know, just go out there and just hold, you know, start protesting tomorrow.
Right. Well, the more you can do it, the better. It doesn't have to be just
3 people.
It would be really nice to get one day, like on a Friday, you know, get out there early, 2:00, let them see us all out there nationwide. You know,
well, the thing is we don't need a protest just like one day. It's gonna need to be like DAPL. You need a protest every fucking day.
Right. But I would like to see them surrounded and make it hard for them to get out of there. You know, at the end of the day, Friday, fuck you, you know, and you know, just it needs to be a large presence because we need to strike some sort of fear, you know, something. You know, because it's like the old saying is you know, when the government, you know, when we fear the government, you get tyranny. And when the government fears the people, you know, you end up with freedom. And you got to make them uneasy. And after uneasiness, you know, and it doesn't let up, when the fear starts to build. Yeah, we just got to start flipping the tables on.
Well, yeah, we need to make our presence known, definitely, you know, to the banksters and the elite and the Federal Reserve. You know, I've been a big fan of that for a long time.
It's just the hard thing about teaching anybody about economics is that, or the way this shit works, is it's so effing complicated that I almost think it's designed that way on fucking purpose, so that anybody who wants to get their nose involved and understand how money works, they don't want to get involved because it's so fucking confusing.
Yeah.
I have few explaining videos there, if you want them.
Yeah, definitely like that. I've been on my old site, on my old page. That was my what I kept on doing. But I get like one or two people like looking at it, and they're 20 minutes long, and I'm like, oh god, how am I supposed to explain the fucking Federal Reserve in fucking like 3 minutes?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, how many people are clueless out there is unbelievable, because I still argue with people out here on the streets. They're talking about, their gold jewelry, and the reason they keep gold is because, the dollar is based on gold, and just to try and tell them that it hasn't been based on gold since like 1913, they just don't buy it. They don't believe it.
Let me see. Yeah, no, like that's actually we still had gold. It wasn't it in 1970 when Richard Nixon finally took completely off of the gold standard? Because I know in 1971 that's when he went to the King of Saudi Arabia and struck up the deal, where the King of Saudi Arabia would only sell his oil to anyone in U.S. dollars, and within 1 year he had included over. From that time on, it was all oil sold in U.S. dollars. Because he knew after taking us off the gold standard, he would have to prop up the U.S. dollar by some way. And in return, those people who sold the oil for U.S. dollars got free U.S. military security on all their oil fields. That's why we have so many military bases over there in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, it's. I believe it's all a scam for resources.
Yeah. And with that, like me and Alvin had been talking before, with that, that's how you get, oil dependency. And because of that oil dependency, they suppress technology, that can get us away from oil dependency and fossil fuels and away from renewable energies, like wind and solar. Why not that takes off here in the U.S.?
Well, yeah, the technology is already here. It's a lot of the oil companies have shot it down. I remember Shell shot down hydrogen fuel cells, and this was like fucking like 11 years ago. He's saying that the way that they wanted to make hydrogen was to use it through fossil fuels and do some sort of extraction process, and saying that it would cost too much to make it. And I'm like, no, all you need is electricity and fucking water. That's it.
Right. HHO.
How fucking expensive is that?
Right, that's the HHO engine. Like the guy that originally came up with that in the 70s, they tried to buy it from him. He refused, and he ended up dead.
I wouldn't doubt it. Hydrogen fuel cells have been around for a while. I remember seeing it out in California a few times that they actually had fueling stations. They did have problems with the storage, but I believe they have perfected that they mix it with some sort of chemical with the hydrogen where they can actually force more hydrogen into a small place. And then the arguments were coming out that it's hydrogen's explosive, and I'm like, well,
no, it's not.
And I'm like, no, it really. I mean, yeah, it's just it is more explosive than gasoline. But I'm just saying that the technology, that they have like a multi-cell. They have multi-cell fuel cells. Some are wet, some are dry. Essentially, it's not even really combustion. What they do is, oxygen goes on one side, hydrogen goes on another side. It goes on what's called a proton exchange membrane and produces electricity. The thing is essentially electric.
Yeah, I know. As far back as the late '90s, Chicago was test running their public bus routes with hydrogen fuel cell system, and it was successful.
I think in Canada, some of their public transportation systems were running on. Some of their buses were hydrogen powered.
We're getting questions. Hashi's asking about the TTP thing again. Because I know I did see the other day that there was something that's now replacing TPP, even though TPP got shot down, Trump signed off on it. But there's like a TSIP or something like that, TISP.
TISPA?
Well, there was originally 3. There was the TPP for the United States and 11 other countries. Europe was covered under the TTIP, and Asia was covered under TISA. There was actually 3 going on, which would have basically gave them control of the entire world. They were going on at the same time.
Right. They're just asking us to talk about that.
I'm not real familiar with the new what they're trying to step up with now. But now, believe me, I'm going to be looking into it because I was very much against the TPP. The secrecy alone, and then what little information we did have about it was frightening as hell. And the fact that it was like, almost 2,000 pages long, and we had like 5 pages worth of information we had access to, and it was frightening at that.
Wasn't the information like so hush hush that you couldn't? That it was like locked in a fucking vault, and if you wanted to have access to it, they took away all of your devices that you could to record it.
The politicians were voting on it blind without having seen any of it. What politicians were allowed to see it was behind closed doors, and they were only getting like that 1 to 5 pages of information. People to have, and it was only a handful of politicians that were getting to see it.
Any other comments? I'm pretty sure there's a bunch.
Oh. There's another one that says, what do you think about opening the coal mines again? I guess Trump mined it today.
The problem, okay, and I'm a big, save the environment kind of thing. Opening up coal mines is a backwards process. You can say that you can look at global, the how should I say this? I don't totally buy into the whole global warming thing. I mean, yes, there is evidence that something is going on, and yes, there is evidence that doing the carbon samples of how the temperature changes over the years from the core samples that they've done in Antarctica are telling another story. But I'm just telling you that burning coal is like an old way of it doesn't. How should I say this? The technology that we have now to produce electricity is much more advanced to the point where we need to burn coal. And I'm sorry, it's just it's not healthy and it's not good to the environment.
If we're going to spend money to change to any kind of form of energy, we need to do it with renewable. If we're going to spend the effort and money, we might as well go with renewable instead of stepping back to coal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially if you look at like the how efficient and abundant just geothermal energy is. Like geothermal energy, the potential there is like greater than all the other renewable resources like the solar and wind and everything combined.
Yeah, and there was also, I believe I think it was in Norway, maybe they were thinking about, or I don't even know what country it was. They were talking about harnessing power from waves and having underground turbines from the waves powering these turbines. And essentially, that's a form of energy that's I mean, yeah, the pistons, the turbines, they would have to be replaced, every so often. You'd probably have problems with plant life and whatever getting in there, and you'd probably have to make deterrents. But that's a form of energy that, you know, that is very renewable, very powerful.
Yeah, or using the tides going in and out, because those are actually very powerful. You know what I'm saying? To turn the turbines. I mean, there's so many other renewable sources we can go with. To bother going to coal, you know, to me just seems like spending a lot of money and effort to go backwards.
Right. Yeah. I mean, shit. Like, they're having so much pollution in China. There was a guy that's there was a lot of big hype about it. There was this guy, and they only made one of them. What they're doing is he built a machine to capture carbon, or was it CO2, or I don't know, some sort of carbon. And what this device does is it essentially takes out the smog out of the air, and they capture the carbon, and then they essentially, how they're paying off this machine is they're using the carbon that they had captured from this device and turning it into zirconian diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, really smart invention, though.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of technologies out there. It's just a matter, like Tampa is the only place in the United States that actually, like for water, we have the only saline plant in the United States, and where we turn seawater into fresh drinking water. But the cost is so expensive to do it that it's basically not worth it, the amount of electricity it takes. And they came up with the idea of all the little pipes that they run the water through. They actually put little turbines in like the corners and stuff like that of the pipes to turn the turbines to generate electricity to cut the cost for cleaning the water out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ingenious ideas out there that we could go with. I mean, that are viable and at some point in practice, like we were talking about the hydrogen cells. You know, we've gone so far with a lot of this stuff. I don't see why we don't go further and just go ahead and change the format, other than greed keeping us stuck in place.
Well, that's the thing, is that the biggest deterrent from hydrogen-based power is that a lot of people cannot make profit. A lot of the big, the elite, they cannot make a profit because you can make your own fucking fuel in your own house.
Exactly. And then turn around and drink the waste.
Yeah.
And it's probably cleaner than the water you're getting out of your pipes.
Oh, it's fresh. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's fresh, but I mean, I don't know if it's like drinkable safe, but it's safe.
Well, I know, like, I remember when I'd watched a program on those the buses in Chicago, they literally put a cup up to the exhaust, got a nice gulp of dripping water out of it and drank it right out of the exhaust. That was part of their like demonstration. And if you ask the people in Flint right now, I bet you they would rather have the the exhaust water than what they're getting.
I mean, hydrogen has all sorts of. There's this guy, and he's been making these tools, and he's been using a hydrogen separator, and I think it's an OOH plasma welder, and essentially you can make your own hydrogen welding source with the hydrogen torch. They have these things perfected so well that you can even weld with these things. You can make your own fuel. There's a lot of applications for it.
I know there's you might be able to find something on YouTube out there. Was an Arabic physicist who had actually come up with a continual energy source with no waste, a plasma energy source, plasma fuel cell. And for free to nations. He wasn't even trying to make money on it, just so that we would, all the world would switch to a renewable power source, and nobody was biting because, again, the greedy people, globalists, can't make profit on it. And this guy's willing to give his technology away for free.
Right. Well, that's like you can take any standard gas engine, and if you look up on YouTube, it's called HHO engine conversion. You can take any standard gas engine with no modifications except for fuel delivery, where you take a water tank and you have these electrical probes into the water, and the water's got to be distilled water, but it actually, through electrolysis in the water, it separates the nitrogen and oxygen molecules and creates hydrogen for you to run to your engine, and your engine can run off of the hydrogen once it builds pressure.
Yeah, that's what's called a hydrogen injection. I think what you're talking about, and it's where you in the air intake, you inject hydrogen, and then and the funny thing is that you get a cleaner burn, and you also extend the life of your gas. So essentially, what you would normally get 20 miles per gallon, you're getting double, sometimes maybe not even more.
They're able to run it completely off of the hydrogen using no gas at all.
Oh, I think yeah. If you're talking about a fuel cell, yeah, completely. I thought you were talking about what's called hydrogen injection into a fuel injected car.
Well, it works in basically the same way. But it's a retrofit kit, but you've got to build pressure. It takes a few minutes of the electrolysis process to build up pressure in the hoses to run off of pure hydrogen. But the few people that had some YouTube videos when they were starting to resurrect it from that guy that did it back in the 70s, killed. They're being shut down. Their pages got taken away. They got arrested, brought up on charges, and all kinds of crazy shit. So definitely technology they know works, because we can see it being suppressed.
What about
Yeah, I think
I've heard rumors about that we actually do have the cold fusion technology, which would leave no waste, continuous energy type situation that's being held back. Do you guys buy into that? Because I know it's pretty difficult.
Cold fusion, I thought, was some sort of science fiction. Essentially, you're using a nuclear reaction, and instead of having
splitting the atom, you're pushing them together.
Well, instead of having an exothermic reaction, you have an endothermic reaction or some shit like that. And so instead of having a heating process, you have a cooling process. But I thought that was all science fiction.
Well, I know I don't think they've made it yet at all.
Well, I know it's viable in theory, but I've heard rumors that supposedly they're holding back the technology that like with the AIDS cure and cancer cure, that they're holding back the technology and won't release it, this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
I've always been a big hater on the whole nuclear power anyway. The problem is that if something goes wrong, there is literally to stop when shit goes wrong. Nothing.
When it goes wrong big, like Fukushima.
Right, look at Fukushima.
Chernobyl,
yeah. 3 Mile.
Yeah, but Fukushima so far has been the worst because of the ocean. And
oh yeah. It's pretty much within the next 10 years, the Pacific's going to be dead, and who knows how much further it's going to travel.
Right. Yeah, they recently released the energy company over there in Japan released new information about I guess the radiation's measured in sieverts or something like that, and you die at 8 sieverts or whatever it is, and they're rating it over 500. Once they even the robot machines are only lasting 10 minutes. Anyone can investigate it because it just starts radiation so high it just starts eating shit.
I don't think people realize just how, with the whole Fukushima thing, and I don't know if you guys are aware of something it's in the Gulf of Mexico here. They refer to it as the dead zone, and basically from all the fertilizers and stuff like that, all the nitrogen that comes, down all the rivers and down the Mississippi, from, the Ohio and the Missouri and all that. And it's actually growing to where there's this huge patch in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's getting bigger and bigger, that is so devoid of oxygen, nothing can live there. And you know what I'm saying? You put Fukushima, the whole Pacific dead, and then the Gulf. I mean, how much ocean are we going to have left here before too much longer?
Right. Yeah, and I plan on moving to Jamaica one day, and I want that shit fucking up Jamaica.
Well, I know a lot of our fishermen here in the Gulf, and shrimpers and stuff like that are terrified right now about this whole, because we know we had the Deepwater Horizon disaster here, and now with this dead zone growing very, very large, it's size of Texas or some shit like that at this point. They're starting to panic because it's really limiting their availability to fish.
the ecosystem. I mean, everything there has in the ocean has a purpose for each other.
Yeah.
Just not the subtle things, oxygen levels, like you were saying, that the areas void of plankton and then the shrimp and then the fish and all kinds of shit. And the coral reefs, like the coral reef out there in Australia, that's like 90% dead now.
Yeah, it's
like,
gone.
Oh my God, this planet, the planet is literally dying. You know.
Well, if you even get like on, it's not Dabu 7, Jason A, I think, covers it on YouTube. He covers a lot of like the mass die-offs that's been going on, you know, like beach whales and the dead fish and the birds falling out of the sky. It's getting pretty scary out there right now. You have to wonder what's going on.
And I've been watching Jason A's videos for like 2-3 years, and it's like just nonstop. Seems like every video he's put out for like 3 years now, it like shows mass die-offs of something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's enough to make you really think. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you just like when you got thousands of birds falling out of the sky, and complete freshwater lakes just covered with dead fish, and nobody knows why.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I think. I don't know. Sometimes I think some of that has to do with art, you know, and you could microwave and shit, you know.
Bottom line is that, you know, when you start seeing stuff like that, it's proving that, you know, doing to this world is not in homeostasis, and we need to really think what we're doing to this world on what we're, you know, as far as the polluting, because we live on this world. We have to live in homeostasis with our surrounding environment, and if that's not in line, you know, then things start dying off, and eventually it's us.
Exactly. Well, like look at the bee situation. They just caught on actually lamestream media talking about 1/3 of the world's bees are gone at this point.
Right.
Oh yeah. Did you see the Monsanto's Corporation? What they're trying to do is they're trying to genetically modify. I thought this was a legit article where they were trying to genetically modify ants so that they could redo what the pollination from what the bees were doing, and I'm just like, haven't you guys already caused enough fucking trouble? Like,
yeah, right. Isn't your tampering already causing enough problems? I actually caught an article where they're little robotic drone bees to replace the bees.
Yeah,
I think that was legit. I think that one was legit. I did see a video of some prototypes.
Yeah, I seen that like yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was like yesterday or the day before I caught something about that. I wasn't able to get too in depth into it. It was a video. I was in the middle of doing something, but it caught me. It caught me off guard. You know what I'm saying? I was like, really, we're really going that far? Instead of fixing the problem and keeping the bees, we're just going to build little robot bees. You know what I mean? Seriously?
Yes, so someone else can get rich again. And
That's why I'm saying is that, you know, as far as what we're doing to the earth, we need to rethink pesticides. We need to rethink farming. We need to rethink, you know, our fuel sources. All of it needs to be safe to the surrounding environment. And if that means we need to rethink all of this shit, then we need to do it, or we're not going to have an Earth to live on. Well, I mean, there will be an Earth, but there will not be.
It won't be survivable.
It won't be survivable, at least for the human species.
I agree with that 100%.
we'll wind up like Mars.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wind up like Mars. We're killing the planet at this point. Like we just said, the Pacific, largest body of water on the planet, is pretty much dead because Fukushima, where we could pretty much scratch it off. We don't have much time left. We're losing the Gulf of Mexico due to farming fertilizers, nitrogens from the fertilizers. I mean, really, how much more do we have left? You know, we got bees dying. I mean, we don't have a whole lot more left. And to me, it's looking like we're running out of time, and we're running out of time quick.
Yeah, they're doing the damage quicker than we can reverse the damage.
Exactly. And I don't think robot bees are the answer.
No. That's the thing that kills me with the elites that are allowing all this shit to happen, that are purposely doing all this shit. They have to fucking fucking live on the same planet as the rest of us.
Oh, yeah, but they got those seed banks and everything else stashed up. You know what I'm saying? They figure, when the rest of us die off, they'll fix it.
To say if you've ever seen the Georgia Guidestones, they have a plan there. They've always been, the globalists have always been on a rant on depopulation, of 500 million people on the earth. They don't give a shit.
No, they don't. There's another good spot to have a like spray paint demonstration would be the Georgia Guidestones.
Spray paint the Georgia Guidestones.
They did like what, like 8-9 months ago. Someone went down there and spray painted all over them.
Really?
I did see something about that. Yeah, I did see something about that. All against the New World Order and stuff like that.
Right. Someone had wrote on the spray painted on their "fuck the Illuminati" or a bunch of crazy shit like that.
Yeah. But could you imagine, a couple thousand people out there all taking a turn with their spray can? It wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? And then just topple the damn things over when we're done.
Get some sledgehammers and some fucking jackhammers on those shits.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we think of your plan.
Right.
All right, guys, we got a 20-minute warning.
All right. But I can't believe we've been yapping that long. I guess it's kind of good, though. It seems like we're running out of solid topics to run on.
Topic.
Angel said the Guidestones have so many cameras, hoodies, and masks.
Oh, boycott the bank.
Oh yeah, I think our group is pretty well equipped with the hoodie and mask department.
All right, so we got a topic: boycotting the banks and pulling your money out. What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, since the money's worthless, if we boycott the banks, why bother pulling it out? You know what I mean? They just got paper. You stop using them, you know what I mean? They're just going to have, fire starter shit.
When it comes to the amount of money in circulation, we literally only have 3% cash. The rest, the 97% is in the digital world.
That's true. And if you've done any research on the big banks, they're all for profit, and even going, I don't know. You guys familiar with credit unions?
Yeah. I was with McDill Federal Credit Union at one point until they screwed me over.
I don't know.
All over a hole punch in the check, and this was a corporate check from Wendy's. This was years ago. One of the hole punches tore, and they bounced my $500 check and didn't inform me of this until after I had spent 2 weeks, going around shopping, writing checks and shit like that. I had bounced checks all over the place, had to go to court and shit, and then nobody wanted to claim responsibility for their little torn punch hole. Cost me a fortune. Almost went to jail twice.
Well, I mean, boycotting the major banking institutions, J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, Chase, and all of the other ones that fall under that category. Pulling your money out of those would be a big fuck you to the elite. And maybe pulling your money. Mm-hmm. But then again, you run into this, problem. I think isn't it technically like illegal to not have not large amounts of money in the bank in the first place? I think it's like what is it, like $50,000 is like the limit or some shit.
For what?
Yeah, but you got to look at the situation though. If you pull your money out, you're still going to use it to go buy food, gas, shit like that, and those places are in turn going to continue using the banks. What you got to do is just stop using the money.
Right.
You mean just going on to a barter system or something else?
So it's another plan, because like I said, you're going to use that. If you're going to pull your money out, like I said, you're going to use it to make your purchases that you need, pay your bills, buy your gas, your food, this, that, and the other thing. And in turn, those companies are going to put that money back in the banks. So they're going to keep running. We would have to just stop using the money altogether.
Yeah, that might be a way of going about it.
I don't know. That's always been a solution. The constant question that people have come up to me is that is so what you boycott the Federal Reserve and now they're out and what's your solution? I'm like, I don't have all the solutions. I'm always searching for something that's better than what we got.
But that's when
I always say
that's when
true anarchist system. We'll go straight back to the old school days and run to the bartering system. Everybody better learn how to fucking garden and farm again. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna have that's the only way we'd be able to force scrub it. You know what I'm saying? To force them to do it. It's the only way.
Well, that would essentially, I always compare money and the monetary system. It's like a modern day caste system. It's like he who has the most money has the most control. You get rid of money and then you get rid of this artificial caste system.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, yeah, we're going to have to suffer a little bit. Everybody's, they will suffer. The bars just, will be this, that, and the other thing. Well, listen, we are heading to it. We're on the cliff's edge anyways to where we're going to be suffering with this money system. We might as well just, accept the fact that we've gotten ourselves to a point to where we're screwed, whether we do or we don't. We might as well just, push it and go, like I said, go to the bartering system, free anarchy system, and at least push it, at least end it on our terms instead of theirs.
Right. But it's steps. You can't just jump from one to the next, from one extreme to the next extreme. I mean, especially in a society that we live in today, people who are so dependent on the system, they're willing to fight to keep it, we're going to have to take the steps necessary to get there. I think eventually we should make it to a resource-based system where people quit asking, how much money is it going to cost to do this project, for the community. It needs to be, do we have the resources to do this,
Well, actually, we do. It's, be neighbor taking care of neighbor.
Exactly. The original anarchist movement.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody's got to chip in and help.
Basically, what the government does is it takes your money, and the money is supposed to go to the poverty class, which it doesn't. But and what it should boil down to is it should be neighbor taking care of neighbor, not the government taking care of everybody. If we all pitched in and help each other, it'd be such a fucking better world.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we're needing to wrap it up here, guys. I'm going to say goodbye. This is, Rage Funk, on the grind, off the grid. Nice talking to y'all, and we'll see you next time we decide last minute to have a show.
Thanks for having me on tonight, guys.
All right, we're getting the call. He's,
over the last century. There has to be a link between the economy and the resources of this planet, the resources being, of course, all animal and plant life, the health of the oceans and everything else. This is a monetary paradigm that will not let go until it's killed the last human being.
The in-group will do all it can to stay in power. And that's what you got to keep in mind. They'll use the Army and Navy and lies or whatever they have to use to keep in power. They're not about to give it up because they don't know of any other system that will perpetuate their kind.
longer course to the corner of your life. Just remember that the goal is for us all to capture all we want. Don't surround yourself with yourself. Move on back to square